The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your SuperChats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
The good news is Aaron Rodgers made it through an entire game as the Jet quarterback. The bad news is the Jets played awful, especially on defense. We will talk about all of it. It is our first post-game show of the regular season, and it starts right now.
Man, our Jets are primed for a historic season. We bleed Jets green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super Chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jets bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. Big shout out to everyone staying up late and watching this post-game show live. It is almost midnight on the East Coast. I just got back from T-Squared Social, where we had over 400 Asmaniacs in the house to watch the Jets and the Niners tonight. Before we get into the post-game show, I just want to thank everyone who, of course, made it out to T-Squared Social. Big thank you to T-Squared Social for having us. It was a great event, great night. Obviously, result notwithstanding. And I want to share this right off the top. Week 2, 6 days away. We're running it back. Jets are going to win this time. RSVP if you're coming to our watch party for the Titans game this Sunday. The link to do so is in the description for this video, this show you're watching right now. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to get into. Let me say this, right? I'm already seeing the comments here. I'm getting tweets. This team stinks. The coach is the problem. Fire this person. Let me say this. I was embarrassed at times by how this team looked tonight, especially the defense. I thought the defense was awful for a lot of the game. And I thought the start of the second half, when the Niners offense went right down the field, when it felt like one stop and the Jets would get going, and it just never happened. So let me make it very clear. I will criticize the defense. I will criticize the tackling on the defense. They got absolutely gashed in this game tonight. I mean, they made Mason, the guy filling in for McCaffrey, look like he was prime Niners Frank Gore. All right? That was a problem. But I'm also not going to sit here and act like it's doom and gloom one game into a 17-game season when you lost to maybe the best team in football. When you lost to a team that was in the Super Bowl last year. Should the Jets have been more competitive in this game? I think you could certainly argue they should have been. But I'm also not going to field calls from morons on this show who want to fire everyone and act like one game is some sort of indictment on the entire season. A year ago, the Jets won week 1. Their season was actually over that night. I'll take this 1,000 out of 1,000 times. Let's not lose sight of that. The Jets' next 4 games are against the following quarterbacks: Will Levis, Jacoby Brissett, Bo Nix, and Sam Darnold. So I'm not excusing the performance tonight. It was not good. You want to play with the big boys, they're going to have to be a lot better. But no team is a finished product in the first game of the year. And the big takeaway I have from this game, defense aside, is I thought Aaron Rodgers looked good. He missed a couple throws here or there. I was just watching his press conference on SNY before I signed on. But I thought he was good. And they never were able to get him in rhythm tonight because he never had the ball. And the stats back that up. You know, I said this to people at T-Squared tonight watching this game with everyone. Felt like the Jet defense was on the field the entire game. And you know what? It's because they kind of were. The Jets had the ball for just 21 minutes tonight. And if you really throw out that last drive with Tyrod in garbage time, it's even less than that. That's the fewest time of possession by an Aaron Rodgers-led team in any start of his career. This guy started 225 games in the league. So they didn't have the ball on offense. Aaron never had really a chance to get going. I thought at times he looked great. The throw to Lazard on the hard count was awesome. That drive that ended with the Breece touchdown where they converted on 3rd down 3 times. The Jets never converted in a single drive all last year more than twice on third down. They did it 3 times in that drive that ended with the Brees score. So there's some negatives. They got to tackle better. The run defense was putrid. You still think Hassan Reddick is a luxury, Jet fans? Remember that argument? It was horse shit at the time. It remains horse shit. Excuse my language, but it's late and I'm fired up. But I'm also not going to sit here and act like because they lost as an underdog to a team that was in the Super Bowl last year in their house, that somehow this team is not good or this team can't reach their goals. Newsflash, they were not going 17-0. I have said all along, I expect the Jets to be 4-1 going into that Bills game. And nothing I saw tonight makes me feel as though that still can't be a realistic goal for this team. Once again, a year ago, the Jets won week 1. Buffalo lost to the Jets. They still won the division. Jets won week 1 last year. The season was actually over. Tonight, you got Aaron Rodgers at times looking like vintage Aaron Rodgers. He was rusty a little bit, but I thought he got better as the game went on. But I'm not going to sit here and do this sucks, this team's awful. If they play terrible against the Titans, they lose that game, it's a different conversation. But this is a learning experience for a team that needs to learn. But I'm also not doing the doom and gloom thing when it's one game of 17. They lost to a non-conference opponent in their building. Go beat the Titans now on Sunday. Go beat the Patriots in your home opener. Go beat Bo Nix, who looked god-awful in his first career game yesterday. Go beat them on the 29th. Go beat Darnold and the Vikings in London. Everything is still right there in front of the Jets. This was frustrating. The tackling, especially in the run game, that's a huge problem, and they have to correct it. And I wonder if not playing in the preseason at all had something to do with the rustiness of this defense. But I'm also not going to sit there and act like Robert Saleh, Jeff Ulbrich and company don't know how to coach defense. They'll figure it out. If they don't, then it's fair to criticize them and question everything. But one game in, I'm not going to say they don't know what they're doing. You have questions about the offensive coaching staff, but Rodgers negates a lot of that, as we saw tonight. How many times did he change plays at the line of scrimmage? They just never gave him enough possessions. It was ridiculous. And 3 of the points tonight were gifted because of the Brees fumble that led to a field goal. Lazard had a brutal drop on one of the opening drives. I think it was the opening drive that cost another possession. So they just never got going. I mean, the time of possession, if you didn't see the game, the only stat in the box score that matters is the Niners held the football for 38 minutes and 40 seconds, and the Jets had it for 21 minutes and 20 seconds. That's the problem. 2 turnovers for the Jets. They lost to a better team tonight. Doesn't mean the Jets won't get better as the year goes on. Let's not lose sight of that. But they had to figure out how to tackle better. They got to get stops. They got to get off the field. It's very rare the defense is played, I thought, as poor as they did at times tonight. And I was absolutely furious watching the start of the third quarter when I thought, hey, one stop, get the ball back to Rodgers with some momentum. This is going to be a game. You know, you're down 16-7 at the half. One stop coming out of halftime, and you're right there. And it was the most deflating thing ever to watch. An 11-play, 70-yard drive that took up 7 minutes and 18 seconds of the clock that made it 23-7. That was the game right there in hindsight. They could not get off the field. That was the game. That was the drive. And you heard Saleh after the game say, hey, credit to the Niners. We made some adjustments at halftime in the run game, and they still beat us. They got to get it figured out. And it's one game. Doesn't define the season. The competition you play next week is nowhere near the level of the competition you played today. Go win the game next week. And let's go from there. You leave this game with Aaron Rodgers healthy. A year ago, we couldn't say that. And I thought Aaron Rodgers at times looked great tonight. I really did. His arm still works. His mind still works. He'll get better. He'll get into a rhythm. Go look at some week ones Aaron Rodgers has had in his career. Typically, he doesn't play well in week 1. His team loses in week 1. I thought Aaron actually was pretty good tonight. He just didn't have enough possessions. That was the problem. So Jets lose 32-19 in the season opener. I want to shout out everyone who's tuned in right now to the show. Please hit the like button. There's 1,290 of you staying up late tonight. We're going to get to your calls on our Gustbuster Umbrella Hotline. Once again, for those just tuning in late, I want to thank everyone who came out. The T-Squared tonight, met so many of you. We will have more room. There won't be any private events going on the night of our the night of a Jets game next time around. So there's going to be plenty more space. Week 2, Sunday, 6 days. Go get ready. We'll see you guys at T-Squared at noon for this one, RSVP, if you're coming out. All right, I'm going to open it up to your comments and questions. We'll get to your super chats. There's probably a lot of other takeaways I have, but I want to hear from the fans tonight on the show. We got some great sponsors this year for our post-game show. I want to start with a sponsor that's been with us before, Custom Bourbon Tours. Shout out to Liam and the team at Custom Bourbon Tours. Folks, it's very simple, all right? If you want to experience an unforgettable day on the Kentucky Bourbon Trail, go to CustomBourbonTours.com right now. Sign up, book your trip. If you're someone who's never been on a bourbon tour, this is the place for you. I'm telling you. If you heard me talk about Custom Bourbon Tours before, they are the preeminent place for any bourbon tour in the Kentucky area. All right. They are a family-owned business, Jet fan family-owned business. Liam is a diehard fan of the Jets. Kentucky has a lot to offer. All right. So you can pick your own distilleries to visit, the vehicle you want to travel in. Flexible zero-interest payment plans are available. You could set up your private group outing in less than 4 minutes online. Once again, experience an unbelievable day on the Kentucky Bourbon Trail by heading over to CustomBourbonTours.com today. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Click that like button. I apologize in advance for my voice being crappy. It is not great. The good news is I got Joe Beningo joining me live at 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow to react to this debacle of a Jet game. Joe B coming up tomorrow, 10 a.m. That's right. You'll hear from Joe first on the show. Let me get to some super chats here. Jetpack says, bent over on primetime is crazy, low-key over it. They didn't play well. Defense has to tackle better. I thought they got out-coached. I thought Shanahan had a better plan. You want to play in the big leagues? That's the team you got to beat. That level of team. Jets are not that level yet. Doesn't mean they won't be. Luppy says, disappointing on defense. That was supposed to be Salah's strong point. Yeah, they didn't play well up. There's no way around it. I was very disappointed by the defense tonight. I expected more. And we could sit here and try and downplay no Hassan Reddick. But you know what? It's not even Reddick. It's no JFM in the run game doing the dirty work. Not having Bryce Huff being able to get pressure on the quarterback. Did they touch Purdy tonight? I thought he was going to be running for his life, Neil. What happened? They touch him? James, thank you for the super chat. Fernando says, relax. I'm pretty calm, man. I really am. I don't want to do the doom and gloom BS that's in my field, in my industry. Oh, Jake, you're on ESPN. You come up with hot takes. No, I don't. I say what's on my mind. If I felt like I needed to scream and yell over this performance, I would be doing that. Anyone who's been with me for the last 3 years I've done this show knows that's true. But I'm not going to fake it. I'm not shocked the Jets lost to the Niners tonight. I would have liked to have been closer. I would have liked to have been in the game in the fourth with a chance to win. I thought this game would come down to a field goal either way. But you know what? It's 1 of 17. Go win week 2, and let's go from there. Billy Blaze says offense can't score when the defense gets run on all night. And that was really the problem, Billy. They never got Rodgers and the offense into a rhythm. Cheeseman says they need to let Rodgers throw the ball. They do, but I think they also wanted to get Brees going, right? They wanted to, and they also didn't want to ask Rodgers to do everything in his first game back. I understand that approach. You almost had to at the end. And at that point, it was too little too late. That was the problem. Chris says, tough loss against a better team. Looking forward to watching the team gel together. Plenty of bright spots to emphasize. I agree. You want a small victory here? I should mention this guy. Alan Lazard, outside of that one drop, looked pretty good with Rodgers throwing to him. And then Tyrod obviously was the guy who threw the touchdown at the end. If he could be a 3 or 4 on this team, if he could be a competent wide receiver, you'll take it. Tyler says, dominated the line of scrimmage. All you need to know, look at time of possession. The only stat that truly matters in this game besides the final score is the TOP, time of possession. They got mollywomped. Tyrone says, no big deal. The team learned a lot The planet said we would not win, and we didn't. They looked flat and rusty. I was happy with Aaron Rodgers shaking up the rust. Let's go on a 5-0 run. Go Jets. The bottom line is this. This team was not going 17-0. Your toughest game on the schedule is now done. How you respond to this will tell us everything you need to know about the Jets. I have been someone who has said Robert Saleh deserves a chance with a real quarterback. He hasn't. You're not playing the Niners next week. You're not playing the Niners the following week. You're playing two inferior teams you're going to be a favorite against. Go win. Go win. Oregon Jet says the defense will be fixed. We have an offense finally. I agree. King writes in, we just got reminders what no pass rush looks like. Pay Asman whatever he wants. See, that is not what's going to happen here. That said, anyone still think it's a great strategy to just say, let's not work out anything with Asman Reddick? Screw him. We don't need him. We still feel that way? Yeah, you could beat the Titans next week without Reddick. They probably will. They better. You want to play the best teams in the league? You know what helps? Having a guy who could game wreck. You know what the Jets could have used tonight at any point in the second half? A turnover on defense. Neil with a super chat. Tip for my drinks I did not have. I'm ready to rant. I want the full 5 minutes. Neil, I got you. Stay tuned. James with a super chat. Jake, please, people need to realize we're a team that needs time. We need reps and development and bleep all this BS on paper, the team chemistry and no starters playing in the preseason. It takes time. Schedule 4-2 by week 6. I agree. And I'm not making excuses tonight. It wasn't good enough. They got to be better. This team wants to be a Super Bowl contender. You play teams like the Niners along the way. But it's also one game with 16 more to go. Kansas City Chiefs lost week 1 last year too, by the way. It's week 1. It's always heightened because it's week 1. But once again, the Jets won week 1 last year. Where'd that get them? How'd that go? All I know is Aaron Rodgers is only going to get better with more opportunities. You know, when he has the ball for longer than, 20 total minutes in a 60-minute game. Joe says, pay Reddick. Not a blank check, but get it done. It is stupid that he is not here. And while I think Asman Reddick is a moron for how he has handled it, the Jets are not blameless here for now going into the season without a replacement for Bryce Huff, John Franklin Myers, and just basically avoid because you didn't do anything if Reddick's not here. Infamous Julian, run defense, pathetic, can't win if you can't stop the run. Needs to be better. I don't know how else I can say more than that. It was terrible. Green Empire, they better start figuring out how to stop the run. I agree. Concept, super chat, appreciate you. Jesse, defense was gassed, been out there for that long. Yeah, they shouldn't have been. Get off the field. Tyler says Rodgers was only on the field for a quarter. And he looked good when he was out there. That was quarterback play. The drive that ended with the Brees touchdown was beautiful. They couldn't cover Garrett. He was unguardable. They just didn't get enough opportunities to get going, man. That's what was so frustrating. I felt like I was in heaven at times watching Aaron Rodgers. I was like, this is what it's supposed to be. Like, I had confidence they were going to move the chains. I've never felt that way as a Jet fan, ever. Michael writes in, Niners will be overconfident when we meet them again in the Super Bowl. Sign me up. Omari says, Jets fans, please remember the Super Bowl champs lost their first game. Defense will be playing better. Offensive line will be better. Only way to be us is to keep the ball away from Rodgers. Relax. They lose to the Titans, I won't be relaxed. They got to play better. I think they will. Adam says, Braylon Allen getting no carries is insane, especially in short yardage situations. We need to activate UDFAs. Clemens gets bullied. I'm not against benching Clemens. I got to watch back the tape before I truly assess how I thought everyone played. It's tough at a watch party with everything going on. But this defensive line was terrible tonight. They got bullied. I don't think it was just Clemens. I think it was everyone. Concept says it's week 1. You guys need to relax. Week 2 loading. Yeah, I mean, I'm annoyed, but I'm also not going to fake it and be outraged for the sake of getting clicks. I don't need clicks. I got 1,400 great fans watching right now. Just going to tell you how I feel. How I feel is the Jets defense played like crap tonight. I'm still not going to sit here and act like I don't have a lot of faith in this coaching staff on that side of the ball to put together a much better plan and be better. You're also not playing the Niners every week. I think you could be chapped. You could be annoyed. You also can acknowledge this is the toughest game they play all year on the schedule, at least on paper, I thought. Senku says, thanks, Jake, for the calm down. We'll see how next week goes. Win next week. Felix writes in, it's only one game. We just came out flat defensively. We got this, Jake. We'll take out our frustration on Tennessee. Did you watch the Titans offensive line on Sunday? I'm going to need this defense to wake up fast. All right. And it does appear like they avoided any serious injuries tonight. We'll see with Carter. Sauce is okay. He was apparently gassed, had the wind knocked out of him. That's why he was out. Mosley survived a scare. Thank God. And most importantly, Aaron Rodgers played a full game and I thought looked good. Build on it. Ryed says, was literally the only non-red in my entire section tonight. Tough pill to swallow. Vanilla play calling. No pressure at the point of attack at all. Ryed, I'm sorry you had to watch it. I appreciate you, man. It was tough. I mean, there's no other way around it. EJ, Rodgers couldn't get on the field. Still looked pretty damn solid. First game together versus Super Bowl team. Weeks 2, 3, 4, and 5 are ours. We will improve. That's the take I have. That's the opinion I have. And I thought the offensive line was pretty good tonight. They couldn't run great, but I thought they pass protected pretty well. I really did. They didn't have a lot of possessions, but Rodgers wasn't running for his life. He really wasn't. I thought the pass protection held up pretty nice. Rodgers highlighted it after the game. TT, thank you for the super chat. Story Lynn says, when will Salah ever have these guys ready for a big game? They won week 1 last year after down 10 at halftime. After they lost Aaron Rodgers in the 4th play of the season. Last year, they beat the Philadelphia Eagles when they were undefeated without Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed. I mean, come on, man. This wasn't a good night for Robert Saleh and the coaching staff, but calm down. Corey says, same old Jets. Corey, I appreciate your $1.99. I wish it was $2.90. So at least for your stupidity, Corey, I could have had a free ride on the subway.
What is your major malfunction, numbnuts?
That's 7-10. Yeah, they lost to the defending NFC champions on the road. But they're going to go 7-10 again. Okay. Fialco in the house. I promise, guys. RELAX. Look, if Andrew Fialco tells me to relax, I'm going to relax. We will see Fialco tomorrow afternoon for the film review. Rob writes in with a super chat. Disappointing game, but no need to freak out. 2 concerns that are still apparent from last year. Poor run defense up the middle. Not creative on offense with the run game for Brees. Rob, I think the problem with the creativity with the offense is they just didn't have enough possessions. They never really got going. The Niners are a great football team. Like I feel like it's almost disrespectful the way people just assume the Jets were going to destroy them tonight. They're a great team, even without McCaffrey. D. Benando, I think we need to sign another D lineman. Or I don't know. How about the guy you acquired to replace Bryce Huff? You get him in the building. Just an idea. Aurora says, to my fellow Jet fans, relax. It will all be okay. Our O-line held up with the defensive players we have. What adjustments do we need to see to stop the run? I think the Jets got to just play better. I think they were rusty. They didn't play in the preseason. I think the Niners, who have experience, punched them in the mouth, and I want to see the Jets respond now. John says, got brought back down to earth. Time to sack up. Gut check time. 2010 Jets lost week 1. They played awful. They beat New England week 2. Good teams bounce back. Jonathan says, also helps that both touchdown drives with some of the best offensive possessions this team has shown in over a decade. They'll be fine on to week 2. Like, seriously, I encourage everyone to go watch the touchdown drives. If you don't see the potential for this offense, I don't know what to tell you. And if you really think the defense is going to allow 32 points every game this year, they're not. That's not who this team is. Marvin says we need to calm down. I'm pretty calm, man. I'm just ready for the call saying fire Salah. I'm not doing it tonight. All right. I have a very thin leash with idiots tonight. All right. My idiot counter, it's very low. I'm not dealing with it. All right. If you want to be an idiot, find a different show because I'm not doing it. All right. Rare Baird showing from the defense tonight. No chance for the O to get into a groove. Still great flashes from Rodgers, Garrett Wilson, pass pro. Credit to Shanahan. He's an offensive guru. Remain calm. Long season ahead. I think it's a fair take. I'm not happy with this game. You shouldn't be. But I think it's important to have a decent perspective here. Jet for Life says, Jake, your thoughts on the pass rush and run defense. Honestly, your thoughts. You sent this at 12:11, Jets for Life. Rewind for the first 24 minutes. I appreciate the super chat. Brandon writes in, get Al Woods to help us with the run. I loved AR. I think Al Woods might be done. He's, 36 coming off the Achilles at that size? I don't think anyone signed him for a reason. Glonick says, they got manhandled out there. That was some dominant offensive game plan from the Niners. Insane. I honestly don't know who would beat that. I mean, they got manhandled. There's no other way around it. They did. That's exactly what happened. You're tuned in live right now. Thank you for staying up late. Just after midnight now on the East Coast, we got 1,445 people watching live. Please click the like button. It goes a long way towards this channel growing. And more importantly, if you're a Jet fan, we talk Jets every day on this channel. Subscribe to the channel. Click that red button on the right of your screen. Here's our weekly guest lineup. Beningo's coming on tomorrow at 10. Fialco tomorrow at 4. Will Parkinson's moved to Wednesday this week to adjust for the Monday night game. Sabo later this week. Nick Faria on the Jets beat will join us Thursday. We got our guy Fireman Ed on Friday. Boy Green Friday afternoon. And as you're watching now, a post-game show after every single Jets game right here on the channel. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. I promise we're getting to your calls, but super chats take priority here on the show. This one is from Altoona Sandwich, who was at our watch party tonight. Jake, I got pulled into a strip club called Vivid. Help. Altoona, enjoy. Tristan says, some Braylon Allen plays didn't have him on the field. I'd like to see him more involved. I think the problem was they just never sustained drives, so we never got a chance to see him. They had the ball for 20 minutes tonight. Fernando, thank you for the super chat. Jets for Life says, I agree, like the offense much better than Wilson, Boyle, etc. Yeah, I mean, the Jets had a touchdown drive tonight where they converted on third down 3 times. They didn't do that once all last year. So I would agree. Chino says, this is all correctable on D. We'll be okay. I mean, if there's one area of this team that has earned the benefit of the doubt, I think it's the defense. If they play like this against Will Levis next week and Tony Pollard is killing them, yeah, we got problems. But people, I think, were so disrespectful for the Niners. They're arguably the best coach in the game. And they have elite talent on all 3 levels. They're a really good team. This was the hardest game the Jets might play all year. Rodgers hasn't played football in a calendar year. You got a lot of new pieces. You're playing a team that has had a ton of cohesion and chemistry. It was a tough one. It should have been closer. The defense should have played better, but I mean, I'm seeing some of the comments here. It's like you would have thought the season ended tonight. There's 16 more games. C says, also lost CJ during a critical defensive drive, and you saw right away his impact. By the way, Jamie and Sherwood, that guy could play. Like seeing him on the field early in this game. Jetpack says, don't worry, everyone. We only got bent over in primetime. Defense doesn't exist. Brees a ghost. You're really going to kill Brees? Jetpack, of all the people you're going to criticize, you're concerned about Brees Hall? The guy had 1,600 yards from scrimmage behind what offensive line last year and what quarterback situation? Come on. Carpetbagger, I'm optimistic even if disappointed. You should be. I'm very disappointed. I had 500 people show up to watch this game tonight. You don't think I wanted to deliver a win in the worst way for everyone who came out tonight? It kills me they didn't win. But I'm also not going to fake it and pretend like I'm shocked. I'm outraged. They played a great team. They lose to the Titans. You'll see anger from me you've never seen before, unless you go back to the Jaguars game 2 years ago. Rye Salas writes in, Aaron and the O-line look good. Our D let us down tonight, which is a rarity, but against the Niners, it shows why they were in the Super Bowl last year. Yeah, one game. I think the lack of preseason hurt the Jets' defense. They didn't tackle well tonight. That's usually a staple of the Jets. EJ, Niners were in the Super Bowl for a reason, not the time to panic. We'll see where we are after week 2. JATS, Jets. They better win week 2. Sean says Garrett did the opposite of a toe drag. Garrett Wilson's the least of this team's problems. Nate, negative, disappointed in the defense. Positive, that drive ending with the Brees touchdown felt different. Allen, serviceable. This team is good. Patience, go Jets. I mean, telling a Jet fan to be patient is tough, but I do agree. Brandon says, after getting no pressure, why did we not blitz? Fair. I wanted to see this team switch it up on Purdy. They never did. They didn't tackle well, though. That was the problem. When was the last time the Jets defense tackled this poorly? That's what was appalling. Billy says Reddick isn't for run defense. Brees fumble, tip ball, pick happens. This team is going to be good. I agree. Reddick is not for the run defense, but you know what? When they do have to pass, there's a chance he could bat a ball down, force a fumble. Anyone trying to minimize Hassan Reddick as a football player, stop. When was the last time the Jets had a player who's had four straight years of 11 or more sacks? Oh, you mean they never had that? Right, that's what I thought. Peter says, no defense, no blitzing, no tackling, outcoached. Yeah, but Peter, I got good news for you. Aaron Rodgers looked pretty good. He just never had the ball. All right, let's open it up. I'm almost afraid to go to some of these calls. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Do me a favor. If you're watching the show, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're talking Jets every single day. And reminder, the great Joe Beningo will join us first things first at 10 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow on the show. You think Joe B's in a good mood?
I hate this team. I hate them. I hate them.
Yeah, it's probably not. But it will be fun, I promise. All right. First up on the Gusbuster hotline is someone who already demanded time for his rant. We say good evening, or I guess technically now good morning, to our friend Neil in Garden City. Hello, Neil.
Jake, enjoying my first cigar of the day.
Not a victory cigar, though, Neil. That's the
No,
problem.
but it's my 1218 aggravation cigar. But let me start with a positive, okay? And look, Jake, I was very closely monitoring this game on all ends. I know you were busy, and that's a fear I have when you go to something like this. You don't really have your eye completely on the ball, and we'll get that analysis from Fiacco, tomorrow. So we'll get a closer look at it. But I can tell you right now, I can analyze this game in my brain just by every play that I watched. Positives again. We had a fumble. You got to give the linebacker credit. He punched it out of Brees' hands. This is the kind of thing good teams do. They punch the ball out. Warner forget it. He makes C.J. Mosley look like he's walking in cement. But he's, one of the best linebackers. Look, there was a stat on the TV that the 49ers have 5 positions where they have the highest or third highest or higher top salaries. Okay. Every one of their key positions are a top 3 salary in the league. Okay. We don't have any of that. All right. That's number one. But the pass is, again, the pass, Aaron was a little off. He threw it a little behind Garrett on a couple of throws. One of them caused the interception because they punched it up and caught it. His timing is a little off. You got to realize he hasn't played football in 2 years. Okay, he's going to get the timing down. Okay, the only timing he has down right now is with 2 players, and one's not on our team, Allen Lazard and Devontae Adams, which will be on the team week 6 or 7. So besides that, he doesn't have the timing down with these guys yet. So let's take that into consideration. Now, what could have been a little bit better, we could have done a little bit more screens. I felt we were doing a little too much off tackle running. I know we want to establish it, but Breece Hall is not Brandon Allen. Brandon Allen's going to break tackles like the 49er guy broke tackles from us. Breece is more finesse, less breaking tackles. Do you agree with me on that point?
I just don't think they ever found any running plays that worked. They tried the pitches, they tried the inside zone. They just never got anything going on the ground. I think that has something to do with the O-line not playing in the preseason at all.
That was more of a dominant issue, though. They did do a lot of off tackle, a lot of up the middle, and clearly the 49ers were strong up the middle, okay? And Warner commands a lot. That's on the offensive side. So I'll leave it there. I don't have any issues with the offense. I think we'll be fine. They need to mix in. They didn't get a chance to have any plays, to get any momentum. If any game that we have this year, we're within 1 score in the 4th quarter, there's a 50-50 or better chance we're going to win the game. Down a score. Up a score, it's going to be over. All right? Our defense does not give up. This has been – now let's talk about the defense, okay? The worst running defense we've seen in a very, very long time. Now, let's keep in mind the offensive line we faced, okay, this is a guy – Trent Williams didn't play a single snap in the preseason. And the whole camp, he didn't have a participant. The guy played almost every snap. He looks like a fat old man from Kentucky with a burger in his hand, okay? Our guy's in shape, muscle-bound. Kinlaw, with all his muscle, he did not even play 40% of the snaps tonight, Jake. And when he's out of the game, you got to realize when you can't stop anybody up the middle, and we could not stop them. They were pushing us all over the field. You got to get beef on the inside of the line, okay? And we did not do that. Solomon Thomas is undersized. They were getting pushed around. And the other thing that bothered me defensively, why do we not do run blitzes? Why are our linebackers 7 yards off the line of scrimmage, standing still when the ball is snapped, looking for a what? A crosser? Why are they 7 yards back? Why is C.J. Mosley 7 yards off the ball? And Williams, that they should be closer to the line of scrimmage, especially when they're running against us. And I thought that was a very big issue. One last thing on the offense. Mike Williams, send him out there as a decoy. All he has to do is run down the field and put his hand up in the air, and that's going to take a lot of pressure off Garrett Wilson.
I mean, I want to see how many snaps he played because I was
like
very disappointed with how they used him.
10 snaps.
Yeah, he should be out there more.
10.
I agree.
And when they asked Salah after the game, you know what his answer was? Oh, we're bringing him back slowly. Hey, nobody's saying he has to go out there and get hit. The guy's bigger than any cornerback in the league. All he has to do is raise his hand, and that takes the onus off of Garrett Wilson. I could see it defensively. They were overcompensating on Garrett Wilson's side because we didn't have, granted, Lazard was doing great. So let him do all his plays from the slot. I think most of his catches were from the slot anyway. You have to have Mike Williams out there to draw interest off of Garrett Wilson. Okay, that's done. I'm done with the offense.
You done with your points? I got so many people on hold right now that is telling me that we're maxed out of people that could be on hold right now.
Curley was not in the game much. I thought we could have seen more of him.
Corley,
forget about Reddick. We need a fatty in the middle of the line now. That's our focus. We need a guy like Al Wood. We need a fatty. Otherwise, I'm telling you right now, this offensive line, by the way, was not highly rated by ESPN. The one we're facing next week, the Titans, that's an offensive line that could push people around. If we don't
they looked terrible yesterday against the Bears, so I will take my chances with them compared to the Niners.
That line is supposed to be awesome. And I'm going to tell you something. Tony Pollard, they're going to do the same thing that this team did. You got Boyd, you got Ridley, you got, D-Hop.
They scored 17 points against the Bears. They'll be all right, Neil. They'll be all right.
Jake, I'm nervous about next week now. I don't want to put any kind of mush on it, but I'm very nervous about the run.
I like when you're nervous. You thought they were going to go 17-0. This is great news, Neil. This is good. Here's what I need you to do. Take a puff of that cigar. It will be okay.
These goddamn exploding cigars. Gotta go, Jake. I'll call back later. Shit.
If they can't beat the Titans next week, what are we talking about? All right, you know what the Jets have? A good football team. They'll be better next week. They lose to the Titans, I'll change my opinion. But I'm not sitting here after they lost one game to a team that was in the Super Bowl last year in their building where the Jets were 4.5 point underdogs and act like, well, this just means the season's over. They're not good. Last I checked, the Jets won week 1 last year to a team that actually won their own division. It's week 1. All right, the biggest takeaway from tonight, people don't want to hear it. Aaron Rodgers looked good. He survived the entire game. And he will get better each week. I have faith they'll fix the tackling problem on defense. It was not good. And when they play good teams, really good teams like the Niners, the concerns about the coaching staff is fair. But Let's have some faith that this team will be okay. They'll figure it out. They'll get better. I think the lack of a preseason clearly was a factor for the defense. They didn't tackle well. That was, to me, the most disappointing part. The most disappointing part of the game, I go back to this. Third quarter, Jets, I thought, played relatively well in the first half. They're only down 13-7. Offense looked good on that touchdown drive. They just barely had the ball. You got one stop, or I guess it's 16-3, 16-7 at half. That drive to begin the third quarter, 11 plays that ended with the Mason touchdown, was appalling. That was the worst the Jet defense has played in a game that actually mattered since when. That, to me, is the problem. Fix that. Boba Jet, Super Chat, great time, Jake. Tackling and nonstop, stopping the run, but we'll get better and be fine. Rome wasn't built in a day. The cheer for the pre-snap changes. Boba Jet, great to meet you tonight. His Boba Jet helmet, he brought it. We put a Jake Asman Show sticker on that, which was great. And Boba Jet is 100% right. This crowd tonight at the watch party was so amazing that when Aaron Rodgers was changing plays at the line of scrimmage, we were going freaking crazy. We're like, holy shit, it's quarterback play. Holy hell. Whoa. Can. Blue 58. Skittles. We were going nuts. We're like, that's what it's supposed to look like. Wow. A 3rd and 7 conversion. I haven't seen this since Joe Namath in 1968. Holy fuck. Like, that's what it was like. And I'm cursing now because it's R-rated after dark on this post-game show. Like, everyone take a breath. Aaron Rodgers looked good. He's healthy. He'll get better. This team will be okay. Jetpack says, be patient. It's been well over a decade. It has been. But if you want to fire everyone, Jetpack, after one game, be my guest. But you're going to have to find a different show because I'm not dealing with stupidity one game into the season. Storyland says, bring back Zach. Joking. Last year, they won week 1 with Zach Wilson. How'd that work out? Shout out to Ashenku, who just became an Asmaniac. He signed up to be a channel member. Ryan writes in, Jake, tackling is not a staple for the Jets. They have always had a tackling issue. Remind me, Ryan, where did the Jets defense rank last year in the NFL with no help from a historically bad offense? Where did they rank? There's 32 teams in the league, right? Where did the New York Jets defense rank last year? A team that had such bad tackling issues. Oh, they were ranked number 3 in the NFL? That's right, you moron.
Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it.
Told you, I got a very thin amount of patience for idiots. Sharif, why no Braylon Allen on the 4th and 1? Fair? I think Rodgers would admit on the previous play he threw it a little behind Garrett. Was that the same drive? I don't even remember. I know Aaron talked about it on the postgame. Jenergy was in the house tonight. Shout out to Jenergy. She had one of the coolest looking jet jackets I saw in the building. Everyone needs to calm the F down. We knew this was going to be tough. I had a blast at the Jets party. Thanks, Jake, for bringing this community together. P.S. At least we ain't the Giants. Yeah, I agree with that. All right, I'll take this 100 out of 100 times to even what the Jets did last year. I was in the building at MetLife last year. The season was over. And I tried to tell everyone that on the postgame. It was like, no, Zach Wilson. I'm like, get a quarterback. Like maybe that's why I'm more calm than I think a lot of you probably thought I would be. Because I remember doing the postgame show from Neil Sprinter last year, and it was helpless. The season was over. Some of you didn't want to hear it, and I get it, but I was screaming to bring in a different quarterback that night. Screaming for it. I'll take this 1,000,000 out of 1,000,000 times. They'll be okay. They lose to the Titans next week, my opinion will be different. Hennessy says Brock Purdy definitely didn't run for his life. No, he was chilling. Dimitri said, encourage Uranus by the passing game. We have to run and stop it. We'll be okay. I don't know about the beginning, Dimitri, but I agree. I think the Jets will be okay. Last King of Scotland, bottom-ranked run D. Yeah, they did not. If you're judging the Jets on tonight and their run defense, they would be 32nd in the NFL, I'd imagine. Here for the meme says, Cy, major takeaways. Defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. Pass blocking way better than run blocking. Nate Hackett sucks. Rodgers look good. I mean, Hackett is what he is. If you watch this game tonight and your takeaway is blaming Hackett, like that to me is pretty far down on the list. All right, Rodgers has full autonomy of this offense. Let's get to more of your calls now. Try and get to as many as we can. Let's say hello to Luppy, who's next. Hey, Luppy.
Hey, how you doing, Jake? Yeah, disappointing loss, of course. But we weren't ready. We were not ready. And what do I mean by that? We're playing one of the Super Bowl champion or Super Bowl teams in the league, and we aren't even developed. Our first offensive line is out there, and they're all green. They don't even know how to gel together. There was no preseason. There was no nothing. So we're developing, and we hung in there a lot.
I thought they actually looked pretty good in the first quarter. You know, like they had the 3 points the Niners got came on the great play by Warner forcing the fumble on Brees, and like the touchdown drive the Jets had, they looked really good. Like correct me if I'm wrong, the Jets led 7-3 at the end of the first quarter. Like I thought they actually came out and looked pretty good.
They were fighting, and my problem is the defense didn't keep us in the game like they did with Zach. Every time Zach was there, they kept us in the game. This defense didn't keep us in the game. That was the disappointing part. And that's the problem I have a problem with. Mm-hmm. Our offensive line was the first time together in real action. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to have a first in against the 49ers, really, in their building? I mean, I saw that we had opportunities, and I knew that we could. And then when C.J. Mosley went out, that's when they took advantage of us, too. When C.J. Mosley went out, he's a key. I knew that the linebacker depth is a problem. So when he went out, they started marching down the field.
Well, I think it's also, Luppy, to your point, when it happens in the middle of a drive, it's drastic because there's no time to prepare for it, right? Like when you lose your captain who calls the defense right in the middle of a drive, like there's an adjustment for whoever's going in to now call the defense. I guess it was
Where's the backup in that? That was my concern going into the season. But we still played the best NFC team in the league, even though that McCaffrey was not there. But my disappointing part was the defense. I really was disappointed in the defense. I know Aaron Rodgers didn't have time. I know that the offensive line was still mumble-jumbled. And then just was disappointed in the defense. I really was.
Yeah, I mean, they weren't good, Luppy. There's no doubt. They played about as poor of a defensive game as we've seen in a while in a game that matters. And I love the hat, by the way, Luppy. Thank you. Shout out to all the Asmaniacs. Tonight was nuts. Let me get some super chats here, and then we'll get right back to your calls. Here for the memes. Cy, major takeaways. Defense couldn't stop a note. Did I read this already? I think I did. The life sentence writes in, the 49ers were rusty as hell. Defense didn't play up to their capability. Be glad you caught them when you did. 32-19 is much better than 56-0. I mean, I think the Jets will get better as they go. Mr. Finisher says, even with Rodgers, the excuses don't stop. I mean, you think the Dolphins would have beat the 49ers tonight? Really? You guys were handed a gift from the gods to beat the Jaguars yesterday. I really don't want to hear it from a Dolphin fan. Your football team last year went 1-5 against teams with a winning record. You're going to try and talk trash? Jets didn't play well tonight. But when the Dolphins play San Fran later this year, we'll see how that goes for your team. History would tell me you're probably going to lose that game. You bum.
Into the shadow realm you go.
I don't really look too much into like who we're going after and all of this stuff, but as long as like we're not getting no Jets guys, like I'm good. Let's get this thing done.
What you saying, huh? That's what I'm talking about.
Hambone says Rodgers had the same stat line as Wilson week 1, 2023. Great take, Hambone. So based on your super chat here, you're somehow insinuating that Aaron Rodgers and Zach Wilson looked exactly the same in this game tonight, 1 year apart. You mean the touchdown that Zach threw to Garrett last year where Garrett made one of the most unbelievable catches you'll ever see? That play? I mean, did you see some of the I'm not arguing with idiots. Enjoy Stupid Town, you moron. Good God. Shout out to Jose. He came out tonight. Never seen that many Jet fans get together for a Jets game outside of MetLife ever. Hope you like the shirt, Jake. Thanks for the greatest night. Shout out to Jose. Don Jose Mexican Restaurant. Jose in the house tonight, the owner of that place. Folks, we're running it back on Sunday. We might have even more on Sunday. It's a 1 o'clock game. Come on out, baby. You don't have to worry about staying out late. I'll be there. Party starts at 12. Game will be on all the TVs. We'll have some of the other games on as well, so you guys could follow your bets, your fantasy teams, all that. RSVP to our second regular season watch party for week 2 next week. Ray says, not giving Braylon Allen any touches in short yardage situations, but Brees' struggle was another example of poor coaching. Also, why no blitzes? I think it's fair to ask for more Braylon Allen. I think we're kind of silly if we're going to pretend like Brees Hall can't be good in short yardage. All right, he's the best back in the NFL, besides maybe McCaffrey, who didn't play tonight. Let's relax. Did he have a great game? No, but it's also the first game with new offensive linemen against a really good Niners front. Like, give it a little time to gel. If Brees doesn't look like Brees after a couple games here, we could talk about it. I'm not worried. I think some of these questions or comments on the game, like, we're focusing all on the wrong things. The Jets lost tonight because they couldn't stop a nosebleed on defense. That's why they lost. They had the ball for 20 minutes. The Niners had the ball for almost 40. That's the game. That's what happened tonight. If they gave Aaron Rodgers more possessions, I bet you he scores more points tonight. Because I thought he looked good when he had time, and he had a lot of time tonight. You want a positive? Pass protection I thought was very good for an offensive line that has barely played at all together. They've never played together. They were healthy this summer. Great. But that's not regular season action. More calls. We say hello to Kant, who I believe is the brother of King Lowski. So we have Prince Lowski on the line. What's up, Kant?
Yo, Jake, man. What's going on, my brother? I haven't called in a while. I've been overseas. You know, I'm in the Army and stuff. So I've been overseas, been doing my thing. I watch the show every day.
Thank you for your service, Kant.
No problem. I watch the show every day. I didn't really want to get into all the off-season drama, you know, all these non-Jets fans. I'm like my brother when it comes to this stuff, right? I watched the game. A couple points. We can't stop a nosebleed. We let a preseason running back. Now, granted, he was good in the preseason, but I didn't think he was going to be this nice against our defense. He showed out. He balled out. Shout out to him. Garrett Wilson is an absolute dog. Aaron Rodgers looked amazing. Offensive line blocked amazing. But the problem is we couldn't stop a nosebleed. And all these non-Jets fans that I like to see in the chats, they don't know football. They didn't watch the game for real. Me, I just got off the phone with King Lowski, my brother. And we talked about the same thing.
Was he yelling? Give us an idea.
Come on, Jake. You know my brother. He get on the show every day. He yells, and I yell just like him, but I'm a little bit more calmer than him. I like to analyze the game, actually dissect it. And he does the same thing too. Shout out to my brother. But we say the same thing. We can't stop a nosebleed. Jordan Mason looked amazing. And Garrett Wilson and Aaron Rodgers, they looked amazing. The offensive line blocked. That's all I can ask for. Aaron Rodgers, last season, if you asked me last season, when I'm overseas in Poland in a tent, that Aaron Rodgers was going to last 4 plays, I would have been like, man, come on. But Aaron Rodgers lasted the whole game, hopefully last the whole season. And we got a capable backup quarterback. Tyrod Taylor scored a touchdown in garbage time. So we have a lot of positives to get to, a lot of gelling to get to. This team is just fine. Everybody has some great points in the chat. And like I said,
not everyone, but I appreciate your political
you're right.
there.
Not everybody had great points. You know, you got some idiots on the show.
Oh, yeah.
But Aaron Rodgers looked amazing. Jets, Jets. Everybody relax. We got 16, 17 more games to go. I'm ready for it, baby. Come on, let's go. Jets, Jets.
Prince Lowski in the house. I wonder if he laughs like his brother. Man, good call there from the Prince. Thank you for your service again, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to just repeat this. A year ago, the Jets won week 1, and the season was over. 1 game. Remember the Jets were 4-3 last year. it means more because it's week 1 and we waited so long, but let's try and have some perspective. The life sentence says, look up Mason's Niners highlights reel. He isn't new. He's a good player. He is a really good player. He ran hard. He played well tonight. I just expect more from a defense that was 3rd in the league last year. You could count on your hand how many times the Jets gave up 32 points in a game the last 2 years. It's not many. Anyone who thinks this is going to be the standard now when they play Will Levis and Jacoby Brissett and Bo Nix and Sam Darnold, if that happens, then you know what? This team is not actually as good as I thought they were. But I'm not going to do that after one game where they lost to a team that probably should have beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl last year. They were better for most of that game. Veterans Fitness is next on our show. What's up, Veterans?
Hey, what's up, Jake? How you doing today?
What's up, Veterans? Thanks for waiting, man.
Hey, no, I love your show. I've been watching you for I started watching you last season, and I love everything that you do. I appreciate everything you say, and I appreciate how your comments are. They're amazing. I watched the game tonight. I was so excited. We got the first touchdown. We were 7-3. I was hyped up. Aaron Rodgers is looking great. We just need to do something about what I dislike, to be honest with you, was the fact when Saleh said we could stop a run game anytime, and we didn't do that.
Well, they did. I'm guessing Saleh is Salah. I mean, Salah guaranteed they'll correct it. Well, let's see it. He's got a pretty good track record coaching this defense, so I'm not going to sit here and act like they can't figure it out.
He's an amazing defensive coach, no doubt about it. But when he said that, it was upsetting to me in a sense. But okay, we started doing it for a little bit. But today's game is nothing to give about. It's we're not giving up. We knew this was going to be a tough game to play, and that's all it is. But we still did not lose as bad as a lot of people expected us to lose. Look,
I expected the Jets to be a lot better tonight. I did. I thought this game would be a field goal either way. But they weren't good. Now bounce back against an inferior team you're playing. It's one game of 17. All you people complaining this and that, you'll be on your ass watching week 2 6 days from right now. And hopefully you'll be on your feet at T Squared next Sunday. And the Jets will get their first win of the year. Billy Blaze with a super chat. Thank you, Billy. Purdy did a good job hitting our weaknesses. Tony Adams got picked on, but Sauce and DJ looked good. MC looked like he held in all summer. Chuck Clark played well. That's a little tough on Michael Carter, man. He's facing Brandon Ayuk. Just the overreactions from this game are just wild to me. I'm not surprised. I've been doing this a while now, but geez. The Jets secondary was not the problem tonight. The D-line got nothing on the interior, nothing on the edge. It was a problem. Steve Asman in the house. My dad says, I heard the screams at T Squared when Rodgers changed the play at the line and got first downs. You know what it was like watching offense with 400 diehard Jet fans? That's why I'm not doing the doom and gloom. They're not playing the Niners every week. Joel says, Salah doesn't meet the moment, and we do need more pass rush, and Reddick would help. My final takeaways, Jets have a chance, but Salah is never consistent as a coach. Let's go, Jets. Can we stop with the Salah stuff after one game? Please, I beg of you. People will bring up his record. He had Zach Wilson, Tim Boyle, Trevor Siemian, Mike White, Joe Flacco, Josh Johnson as his quarterbacks. I can't, man. Did you watch Aaron Rodgers tonight? You don't think with more possessions he's going to be pretty good? They'll be fine. Chris, thank you for the super chat. Let's get back to your calls right now. Let's check in with one of my dear friends. I really thought he was messing with me when he said he wasn't going to be in the house tonight. It turned out to be true. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Shine. Hello, Nick.
Hey, buddy. I'm sorry. The boy got hurt. The boy requested me. You got to be there for your son. You know what drove me nuts during this game?
Why are you so blurry?
I look crystal clear on my end.
What happened to you? You used to be crystal clear on my end, but now... Oh, there we go. All right. We'll make do. That beard looks very sexy. Yep, you look great.
It is. It's on point today. You know why? Because I didn't have to pull it during a tight game because weren't in a close game. What was this defensive strategy? Now I'm a defensive coach, right? What was this 2 down linemen and Will and JJ standing at the wide 9 the entire time? It was 5 offensive linemen against 2 down linemen. No wonder the 49ers ran the ball up the middle the whole time. We were welcoming them to do that. What did you notice at the end of the game when we finally put 4 down linemen? CJ was able to flow to the ball, met Mason at the line of scrimmage, no gain. You can't stop the run with 2 down linemen and your 2 edge rushers standing in the wide 9. You're going to invite them. You could tell that the Jets thought they were going to try to get wide on them. They were going to maybe run some more jet sweeps with Debo because that's the only reason you keep having those guys out that wide on rundowns. Mm-hmm. And you got to give Shanahan credit. He saw something and exploited it.
Well, and then the best Salah said it,
coach in the NFL next to Andy Reid, in my opinion.
No, I think
he will exploit you time and time again.
I think he's the best in the league, Nick. And Salah made a comment. I'm going to have to watch back the game like I always do, but especially after a night like tonight, that they tried some adjustments in the second half and it still didn't work. I want to see what they specifically did because all I noticed was the Jets missing tackles and having no point of attack, any pressure up the middle. Like it felt like they wouldn't even touch any backer, Mason, whoever, until Mason was at least 5 to 6 yards into the line of scrimmage already.
Their guards were getting on our linebackers. And then when we over pursued, they played to that. They had their wide receiver and tight end on the backside coming back for the cutback. And they were gashing us right up the middle because you know who we missed a lot today? Leaky Fotu. We missed that big body in the middle. Sure. You know, Neil was mentioning it earlier. We missed Fotu. That's his job, right? You know, Quinnen was out there all the time. They were rotating Kinlaw and Solomon Thomas. Those not really run stoppers. They're upfield like pass rusher, gap pressuring types. Those guys can be moved in the run game very easily, and you saw that tonight, and they were. Offensively, it takes time for an offensive line with 3 new pieces to get cohesion, chemistry, and consistency together. You see it all the time throughout the league. The pass blocking comes early because that's more individual sets. Picking up tosses and communicating without saying anything to one another takes a few weeks. Like you said earlier, we don't have the preseason anymore. Back when I was a kid, they played in the preseason, and the third preseason game was a dress rehearsal that starters went into the third quarter. You know, it was the Jet Giant game. Both of us played our starters late into the third quarter. Now you get 1 drive, or this year, no drives with your starters. So, you know, and one other thing is I know you got a lot of people waiting, and thank you for having me on. Each and every single one of us, when we did our WL schedule prediction, had this as an L.
Yeah.
Every single one of us.
I know.
Except Neil.
They were not going 17-0.
Yeah. Neil's got to change his comment under his name that says 17-0 now. You got to update that one to 16-1. I noticed that before when he was on air. But we all had this as a loss. Is it the way we wanted to lose? No. But you come home, you watch the tape, you fix it, you get consistency with everyone, and you move forward. None of our main guys got hurt. How about that? There's a tweet today. I'd rather take this 0-1 than last year's 1-0.
I think that tweet was from me. I mean, that was 100%.
I think maybe it was you. I'm sorry. I was driving and scanning a bunch of shit. But
so you could drive, but you couldn't come to T-Squared Social.
I went to my kids. What are you doing trying to guilt trip me for being a dad? What are you trying to do? What's
more important, being a dad or being a Jet fan? We all know the answer is being a Jet fan.
All right, it's 12:51. He's asleep. Fuck yeah, being a Jet. But, you know, we'll be all right. We'll be all right. People are asking why didn't Brandon Allen get more carries? I don't know, because we didn't get a lot of first downs.
They had the ball for 20 minutes tonight.
Rodgers, we went right down the goddamn field and scored.
Oh my God. How nice was that, by the way? That was like that was actual porn playing out on the big screen. It was insane.
Why not start the game in that? Why not let Rodgers spread out Tennessee and say, okay, we're going to go right down the field. We're going to get 7. Now your turn. See what you could do against this defense, Will Levis. Play with a lead. Don't be afraid to be great. You have one of the greatest ever at quarterback. Why are we going run? Why are we going Adam Gase run pass on third down?
Yep.
Faked it. Get a little play action. Rodgers moved okay. We're through game one. He can do it.
I think that was it, though. I think it was conservative in like, hey, let's ease him in. And I can't fault the Jets for trying to get Brees going. I said all week, win the time of possession. Brees needs to dominate. And they were trying to do it. They couldn't, and the defense got dominated. And my biggest point going into the game was win time of possession. Not only did the Jets lose time of possession, it was historic. Rodgers has never held the ball less in any start of his career. That's how bad the defense was tonight.
2108, 225 starts to me, he tweeted, and or 223, and it's the least amount of time of possession he's ever had.
21-20 versus 38-40. I have in my notes here. I mean, it was.
You're not going to win a game like that in the NFL.
No, awful.
You're not going to win a game. You know, they were getting down to 3rd and 3, and I'm saying to Nick, they're going to stack it, and they're going to run the inside guy 3-yard out. Purdy's going to hit it on the spot. There's no man press in this zone defense. When they man up, it's a soft man. No one's up in their face. No one's bumping them off the routes. They're getting free releases, and you can play pitch and catch all day with a smart, accurate, efficient quarterback. And Purdy might not have the arm of Mahomes or the flash of other quarterbacks or the running of Richardson and Josh Allen and others. But you know what? Puts the fucking ball where it's supposed to be. He gets the ball there when it's supposed to be there. So we got out-coached. We got outclassed. And like I said, we all had this game as an L. Now, you win the next 4, and you go into the Monday night game on October 14th against Buffalo 4-1 playing for first place. And you lose a game, you want to lose to the NFC. It doesn't hurt you come any tiebreakers. So back the hell up away from the cliff, everybody. And if you're that nuts, go ahead and leap. Like we don't need you in the chats. We don't need those opinions. We don't need those takes.
Nick, excellent job out of you. I hope to see you at the week 2 watch party if you're able to make it.
I'm coaching football. I'm locked out. I'm on the field 11:30 on a Sunday. So
well, you said you're a defensive coach, correct? Can you teach the Jets how to stop the run, perhaps?
Put me in, dude. We're 2-0. I won on 19-13 on a walk-off in overtime against Staten Island, and we blew out Carteret 27-6 this week. I could have hung 50 on him. If you need me, make a call, Jake. Make a call. Get me an interview. I'm good.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Sean. Great call by Nick. We needed a call by Nick. I saw the chat laying on praise on Nick Sean. Here's what you guys can do to support Nick. He's got a great YouTube channel. It's called Proud NYJ Fan. Subscribe to that one right now. Couple super chats here. I'm going right back to your calls. I got a special guest that will, I think, bring us some joy on a night where we certainly could use it as Jet fans. Joel, excuse me. Saleh doesn't meet the moment. We do not need more pass rush. Reddick would help. My final takeaways. Jets have a chance. But Saleh, did I read that one? I might have read this one. I'm not doing the anti-Saleh thing tonight. All right. One game. He's got a lot to prove as a coach. I also didn't think the Jets were going to go 17-0. Let's see how they look now against, in my opinion, 4 games. They should win all of them. Chef Kevin, who was in the house tonight. Thank you, Jake, for a great turnout for the Jets watch party. Chef, you're the man. Kev, you're the best. All the key points were made, and there's no beating around the bush. We'll be back. Let me tell you something about Chef Kevin. Dude shows up, Jake Asman hat, Jake Asman show hoodie, and handed me a fireman head lager. The best. Desert Father says, Jake will be calling for Saleh's job soon enough. He does every year. If you have watched this show, you would know that I have never once called for this head coach's job. In fact, I actually have been a head coach defender for Robert Saleh. And anyone in the chat who's watched this show would actually back me up on that. The problem is you clearly don't watch this show. And because of that, you're going to Stupid Town. Bye.
What did I do? Huh? What did I do?
It's amazing. I'm literally, before I saw his comment, talking about how I'm not doing the fire Saleh nonsense tonight. This team goes 9-8 and misses the playoffs. Yeah, get rid of the coach. But this team's winning 12 games and will win the AFC East. And one game against the defending NFC champions is not changing my opinion on how I viewed this team. The life sentence writes in, you were making a mistake by overreacting. I'm not a Jets fan. I'm just trying to talk you down from the ledge. You have to realize Purdy is a supercomputer. You are all making a mistake by overreacting. You're saying that we're overreacting too strongly. I don't know who this is directed at, but I appreciate the super chat. Veterans Fitness says, I want to be with my brothers and sisters, enjoy the game with them all. I live in Philly and work takes away the fun. Let's go Jets. You'll be there in spirit, Veterans Fitness. I plan to do more events throughout the season. Tonight was a major success. I can't emphasize that enough. I mean, we had 400-something people in there. We ended up hitting 500 RSVPs. We probably had, at various points, over 500 people in and out. It was crazy. Thank you to everyone who came out again. We got another great sponsor I want to mention as we continue our postgame show. I am excited about this one. All right, this guy is a super fan of the New York Jets. In fact, I met Joe. That's Joe DeVizio of Joe DeVizio Realty. I met Joe at the Charger game last year. He was sitting a couple seats in front of me. He is an awesome, awesome dude. His business, I mean, it's easy. All right, I'll read you the talking points, but I feel like I'm pretty comfortable just talking about this one. All right, if you're someone who is trying to sell your home, all right, if that's you, if you're someone who, I don't know, is on the fence about whether or not you're going to sell your home, Joe DeVizio is your guy. All right, if you're thinking about selling your home, if you're trying to sell your home, this guy can help you. If you're behind on payments, no problem. Whole house needs repairs, no problem. Bad tenant, dealing with squatters, no problem. Joe DeVizio helps you with all of this. It is easy. In my description, you can see the link to the website. You also see it up on the screen. The number to call is 959-CALL-JOE. That's 959-CALL-JOE. Once again, excited to partner up with Joe. He's a Jet fan, first and foremost, family-owned business. So check it out. All the info in the description. But if you're ready to sell your home, you're just thinking about it, any of the other problems I brought up, Joe DeVizio is your guy, 959-CALL-JOE, or visit sellwithjoe.com. Thank you to Joe and his great company for being a part of our post-game shows all Jet season long. Once again, all the info's in the description. Check out the website. It's sellwithjoe.com. That's Joe DeVizio. Check it out, folks. Thank you to Joe for being a part of our program. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Let's keep it going here. I apologize for my weak voice. This is pretty typical of me after a Jet game. Chris writes in, where's Al Woods? Did the Jets bring him back? He tore his Achilles. He's 36, turning 37 now. I think he's done. The life sentence says, Mason is a little beast. The wide receivers and Kittle are special. Niners fixed their deficit in the middle of the O-line. You did catch the Niners at a point where they're playing their worst. Jets will be fun. Niners are a really good team. I don't think there's a shame in losing to them. I would have liked the Jets to have played better. I thought this game should have been a field goal game either way. That sucks. Gonzo says, Jake, it's almost 1 a.m. I got work at 8. Love your content. We'll get them next week. Mayo Man don't stand a chance. JETS. Rodgers look good. Defense bad. Rodgers good. Would you take that over last year's week 1 win? I think you know the answer. Joel says positives. DJ Reed got physical and tough. Remember the DJ Reed is wash takes I dealt with this summer on the show? It's almost like he's going up against a top 5 receiver in practice every day. And yeah, Garrett Wilson's going to win some reps. Just saying. That was a dumb week of content on this channel. I liked how cornerback 2 showed up despite him giving up some passes, constructive criticism, more tosses and screens. I agree. And let's see if they add that to the offense. I think, you know what the problem was, Joel? I think maybe they had that in the game plan. They didn't have the ball. They had the ball for 20 minutes. 20 minutes. The Niners had the ball for 38 minutes and 40 seconds. And really, the Jets had it for 21 minutes and 20 seconds. What, Tyrod's last drive was, 3 or 4 minutes? Maybe less than that, but still. I mean, it was the lowest time of possession an Aaron Rodgers-led team has ever had in his career. Ever. Willie says, A-Rod carves up the Niners defense if it gets off the field more. Leonard Taylor needs to be active at Tennessee. Run blocks will be better. Pass pro was good. A-Rod was fine. 1-1 week 2. Great super chat. Completely agree. Life sentence. You don't know who I'm talking about. We're reading all these chats. How you guys are going to lose to the Titans and go 0-16. If people think the Jets are going to go 0-16, you're talking to the morons. Life sentence. All right. I can only read what I see. I got 1,083 people watching right now. I'm only looking at super chats in the comment. There's just too much going on. Billy says, Tyrod looked good in case we need him to win 2 of 3. Hey, you want another small victory tonight? Tyrod did look good. He looked like a competent backup, which if they had him last year, this team was in the playoffs last year. As bad as Robert Saleh is, if you gave him Tyrod Taylor as his backup, they were in the playoffs last year. Let's not forget that. Hector says, without the game tonight, Jake, run defense has a lot of work to do moving forward. Major letdown. Ton of work to do, Hector. Sorry you had to watch it. More calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, there's only one person we could turn to take this show to another level. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome back to the show, the Lane Train.
Hi, how are you? Bruce Hall. That's good. Hi, Jake.
Hello, Lane.
Great game. I want to talk about, I know Aaron Rodgers did well tonight, but he almost played well. On the other hand, though, how do you feel about the 49ers also?
I think they're a great team, Lane, and we saw that tonight.
Sauce Gardner. You know what I don't get is why didn't the Jets put in Michael what's his last name? Michael yeah. Why didn't they put them in?
You know what? It's funny. I was watching this game and I was wondering the same thing.
Yeah, why? Yeah, that was weird. No, actually Michael Collins, not Michael Knoble.
Any relation to Phil Collins?
No. Yeah, but they didn't. Nope. That's Michael Cole. Yeah, they didn't put him in. But, I saw some of the plays, and I was watching, and I said, oh, no. I thought the 49ers missed the kick, and it went right through. And
the old doink field goal, right, Lane?
Yeah, and it went from side to side, and then it went, right in. It curved. It was, yeah. And I'm wearing my football shirt. So, yeah, I have look, it's only one game. Everybody's complaining that the season's over. Like the last few callers you had with the guy with the cigar in his mouth. And Jake, my brother's, that was his, brother that was overseas.
King Loski's brother.
Yeah, he looks different, though, than... yeah, so honestly, week 2, we're gonna win. I guarantee that they're gonna win 37-29 going into week 2 on the Sunday. They're playing Tennessee.
That's right.
I hope they win. If they're not, it's not gonna look good if they lose.
No, I agree. But I like your confidence in the Jets bouncing back on Sunday, Lane.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think now the record is that they started the season. It's kind of not good. It is, was it 4-0, I think, or is it 4-5?
The Jets record?
Yeah. Now it's.
Well, today was the first game, so it's 0-1.
Yeah, 0-1. If they win next week, it's going to be 1-1, tying up.
That's correct.
And, yeah. And then, honestly, everybody's... I'm tired of them talking about firing Robert Saleh. Stuff I don't want to hear about.
Me neither.
They can all go to Stupid Town. How about that?
Yeah, let's put them all in Stupid Town.
Yeah, so how was the block party tonight? I just don't do them for some reason.
Why not? You're not a block party guy?
Can't stay up that late. Well,
I'll tell you what, Lane. You're up pretty late right now.
Yeah, I know. It's already, it's actually, I worked this morning, and now I got to wake up in a few hours, go to dayhab, and
What do you do for work, Lane? Are you a train conductor?
I work in Trader Joe's actually.
Oh, Trader Joe's. Love Trader Joe's.
Yeah, they have all new pumpkin stuff, like all pumpkin like items, like pumpkin ice cream that I tried.
That's exciting.
Yeah, and yeah,
Well,
I don't
Lane,
know
I
if
got some
you
good
wanted
news
to
for
do
before you go. All right.
Yeah.
If you want to come to a watch party, or as you call it, a block party during the day, this Sunday I'm hosting another event in New York City at T Squared Social. Okay.
Very busy though. I mean, it's good you want to offer, but I'd have to take the train, and it's hard. I'll watch it on Sunday on TV.
But your name is the Lane Train. You were born to take the train.
Yeah. So when do we play the Giants again?
We don't.
Week. Oh, we don't. But they're good also.
No,
I
they're
mean, I
not.
went to the game yesterday and they lost. So.
Right. They stink.
All right. I don't want to keep it on. I just have like only one more because I'll go to another caller.
Go ahead.
I think that they got to keep winning. It's gonna be good if they won.
Well, Lane, I'll tell you what. They'll win next week. All right.
Yeah. Okay. I'll let you go to the next caller. And thank you for taking my call.
Lane, anytime. Jersey looks great on you, my friend. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, you too. Bye.
Hi. Sorry, everybody. See you next call when we talk about sports again.
Look, the Lane Train has predicted a win in week 2 for the Jets. I'm sold. All right. We needed to take that call. We needed a breath of fresh air. Super chat here from the life sentence. If CMC had played, all those field goals would have been touchdowns. Sometimes you're just overmatched. It took the Niners 9 years to build this team. I'm not buying the overmatched nonsense. Pound for pound, you look at the Jets roster compared to the Niners. It's not like the Niners blow them away. I think the Niners have a big coaching advantage. We saw that tonight. Shanahan's better than Saleh. I don't think it's a hot take. Saleh's still got a lot to prove. And I thought Purdy was good tonight. Rodgers also is playing his first game after basically being gone for a year and a half since he last played his first full football game. Jets defense was overmatched tonight. Had a bad night. Doesn't mean they're going to have a bad season. It's week 1. Ladies and gentlemen, we go live to the streets of New York City where the party after the watch party is probably just getting underway. We go live to Nate, Rob V, We the People, and I believe that is Clancy in the back there. Hello, gentlemen.
What is up? How you doing? Jets, Jets,
Celebrating a big victory on the streets. Feels good.
Yeah, man. We beat up a homeless guy.
Jake.
How high is weed right now?
About 7.3.
I dripped drops of. Yeah. He's good. He's good. We had Canes in Penn Station. We had dollar pizza. We had everything. But Jake, more importantly, I rented a city bike for weed. I've hooked him up with my contraption on the neck, so weed's gonna take you around the city. Enjoy.
Let's fucking go, boys.
We good? Yeah.
If I drop his phone, it's not my fault. I'm talking, dude. Don't tell me to talk. What's up, Jake? How you doing, boy?
Weed, you having a good night, bud?
I'm having a great time. Look at this red light.
Well, don't run it.
Nobody tells me what to do, Jake. Not even the government.
All right. That's a bold strategy.
Jake, don't worry. We're still going 19-1, dude. Don't worry.
So nothing you saw tonight worries you, Weed. You still feel good about the team?
Yeah, man. I'd rather us get these bad plays out of the way now than week 15 or something, you know?
What did you think of the watch party tonight? Did you have a good time?
I had a fucking blast, even though me and Clancy got there super late because he's about as good with directions as Helen Keller.
Is that true?
I'm going to buy a paper map next time.
Oh, stop at Sabaro's, my favorite pizza place. Get an authentic slice.
Nah, dude, I'm going to Shell. What are you talking about? Oh, look at this truck. High five. Nope, nothing.
Stop at the Garden. Say hello to Jalen Brunson for us.
Say hello to who?
Jalen Brunson.
Hello, whoever Jake said.
The best player on the Knicks.
Hey, you want me to ride into Madison Square Garden?
Yeah. See if they'll let you in.
And go swat a basketball. I have no idea where I am, Jake.
Well, that's typical.
Road right here. Fucking go wrong. Good times. I had a blast tonight, Jake. It was good to see you.
Weed, it was a pleasure to see you. And now I want to make sure you get back safely to the gang here. Do you know where they are?
I do not, actually, but I'll figure it out.
You
Everything
sure?
around here is squares, so we're good.
So you guys are just in front of T squared?
No, I said everything around here is squares, blocks and stuff. It's not that hard to find my way around.
Yeah.
Make a couple lefts to make a right.
You might want to get on the sidewalk, Weed. I don't know if you're. Oh my God! All right, well, Weed made it safely, guys. Well done.
Found him.
Thank you for the call. God, we needed that. We've been super serious the first hour and 20 minutes. We needed a little lane training to weed the people. Hey, big kid, first game jitters. This doesn't define us. They lose to the Titans. My tone will be different. But I can't fake it. I can't fake anger. I am annoyed. I am pissed how the defense played. But I'll take this over what happened last year every time. I still have a lot of faith in this team. They lost to a really good Niners team. They lose to Will Levis next week. My opinion changes. But I have a lot of confidence that they're going to bounce back and correct the tackling mistakes on defense. They'll force some turnovers next week. The life sentence, you may not want to agree with my point, but you can't refute Kyle has every piece he wants. Even the secondary is turning to what he envisioned. I mean, I think Kyle Shanahan's a phenomenal coach. I just disagree with the Niners just having so much talent that they overmatched the Jets. I don't think that happened tonight. I don't think the Niners' talent was why they overmatched the Jets. I think the Jets didn't play well. Give credit to the Niners. I think you play this game again, there's a path for the Jets to win it. I thought Aaron Rodgers was pretty good. He just didn't get the ball enough. That was the problem. More calls right now. Let's go to Ken from San Diego, who has become a staple on these post-game shows the last 3 years. Ken, good to hear from you, my friend.
How you doing? I actually here in San Francisco just left the game. So
how many Jet fans were there, Ken?
There were a lot of Jet fans, and I got to tell you, that atmosphere is a tough atmosphere to play in. It's a beautiful stadium. In watching the game, when you're live, you can see things a little bit differently. And I think your take, we were out-coached tonight. They were just running it right down our throats. Some of the things that just frustrated me, I was on the Jets sideline. I know that we have to rotate our defensive line. It's a strength of ours, supposedly. It just really hurts to see Quentin Williams out on key plays throughout the game. I mean, Salah is very, very stubborn with getting everybody fresh, but we were just getting the heck beaten out of us. And, to see him on the sideline just sometimes just bothers me a bit. Other than that, I will tell you that the offensive line, again, you can see everything when you're at the game. The offensive line did a pretty good job. I mean, Rodgers did have time. I mean, we didn't throw to a lot of receivers, as anyone who watched the game. I mean, the tight end didn't see the ball. I mean, it was almost all Garrett Wilson. And then, Lazard was some garbage time. He did make some nice catches, by the way, Lazard, though he dropped an early one. But I think you're right. We played against probably the best coach team in football, and we just couldn't stop the run. I mean, it was just bizarre. We lined up our ends wide, but we couldn't contain. And then when we did contain, they just ran it right up the middle. I've never seen. We thought we were going to be a top 3 defense. We weren't a top 3 defense tonight. And then also Ashton Davis, who I really like. I think he was beat by the fullback. Twice. I think and then how he is guarding Deebo Samuels. I just think that somehow they're getting their best players against our safeties at the wrong time. And I think you got to give the coach a lot of credit. I mean, the 49ers are very well coached.
Yeah. It was tough because, to your point on the O-line and the offense, they showed some signs of being a really good offensive team tonight. And that's, to me, what made it more agonizing. We didn't get to see it because they just never had the ball. I mean, you're in the building. It felt like the Niners had the ball the entire game.
It really, Jake, I've never seen anything like it. I mean, they were just gashing us for, we didn't have a single game last year where we got run on like that. And it was just a strange, I just think it was the first game and they had a much better game plan. And they didn't even have McCaffrey. I mean, if McCaffrey was playing, I don't even know if it made a difference because we weren't hitting anybody until 3 or 4 yards down the field anyway. But, I'm not disappointed. I didn't think we were going to win this game, to be honest. But, boy, I wish we could have made it close.
Yeah, 100%. I'm sorry you had to watch an L like that, Ken, but, hopefully – there's more wins along the way, and I think there definitely will be.
Boy, there are obnoxious fans. A lot of JETSS. I mean, people just harassing us nonstop.
Really?
But that's the nature of the game, I guess. I mean, I guess if you're going to wear a Niners jersey to a Jet game, and you lose, you're going to hear a lot of crap as well. So,
were you sitting near any Jet fans, or were you just in a sea of red?
No, we were sitting actually near a couple of Jet fans, believe it or not. And, something about New York Jet fans, they're all really nice. They're all really happy to see each other. It was really good environment. I would recommend anyone to go to San Francisco game. I mean, they are, we were lucky enough to be in the club seats. And Jake, I've never seen anything like it. They had lobster and crab legs. And it was just, these people have so much money in San Jose that the people who go to these club seats, it's just unbelievable. I've never experienced anything like that at Met or anywhere else.
Ken, great call, man. I look forward to these after wins this year. It's gonna be different, all right?
Yeah, I think we're gonna have more wins than losses this year, Jake. And just it wasn't our night tonight.
Nope, it was not. Good call. Yeah, just disappointing, man. This fan base was ready. And now it's like, oh, here we go. Same old Jets. Only team 0-1 in the debate. And it's like, you just got to deal with it for 6 more days, Jet fans. Relax. This team will take the field against the Titans, and I expect a much better performance by the defense. And I expect the offense to play well. How about we do this? All right, Veterans Fitness just dropped a $100 super chat. And he says, Jake, sign me up for 20 memberships. Veterans Fitness, if you want me to gift the people in your name 20 channel memberships right now, all right, who am I to tell you no? Who am I to stop here and not gift the Asmaniacs 20 memberships right now? I'm going to do it, all right? It's happening. Ladies and gentlemen, it has happened. A 20 spot of channel memberships was just gifted by Veterans Fitness. And we have rules on this show. When there's 20 or more memberships gifted at a single time, you hear that? That's what we call rain. See this? It's what we call the Gustbuster umbrella. It is raining channel memberships. Here we go. You hear your name called, you are a channel member. Dawn Maria, Justin Jokin, The Real Robert Sala, JETS, Paulie, Green Bean, Danelle Holmes, 100 mile per hour, Mrs. Rogers, Rick Hagan, Phil, Matt Whalen, Brandon Frey, Henry Confidential, NY Jets Man Cave, Cody Decker, Matt Shaw, Crunching Numbers, KY, Andre Callie. You guys are all officially channel members. But wait, there's more. Nick Russo is a channel member. It is raining memberships, folks. Our first of the show. Thank you very much to Veterans Fitness for that. Awesome. Ugh. I wish we had more memberships being gifted in victory, but we'll have to wait till Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen, a super chat has come in here, and then we get to a couple more, and then we go right back to the phones. The life sentence says, literally, it was the talent. They didn't even get to play in their potential. Wait till midseason. Wait till the Jets get the midseason because they're going to be better too, by your logic. I appreciate the super chats. The Niners were better tonight. I don't think because of talent they outclassed the Jets. I don't think we watched the same game. God damn it. Billy Blaze, 3 touchdowns in one game. How many times did that happen in the last 2 years? Not enough. I mean, the Jets offense did score 3 touchdowns tonight. That's true. A lot of times that'll be good enough to win, just not against this team. Matt Whelan says, hey, thanks for the gifted veterans. Shake off this loss, LFG Jets. Amen. Amen. All right, more calls right now. We say hello to Tyrone, who joins us. Then we'll go to Bill and V8, our next 3. What's up, Tyrone?
Oh, well, hey, great. Jake the Great. My man.
What's up, man?
Man, watching the game tonight, I was trying to evaluate our new acquisitions. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry I got food in my mouth and stuff, man.
You want me to come back to you?
I don't want to spit it out. No, hold on. Let me swallow this real quick.
We'll come back to you, Tyrone. No one wants to watch you eat on the air. Let's go to Bill. He's next. Hey, Bill.
How are you, Jake? Shout out to all the Asmaniacs that were at T-Squared today. It was a wonderful time. Too bad the Jets couldn't win the game. Unfortunately, their defensive line, they just had absolutely no penetration into the 49ers backfield, so they were pretty much able to do whatever they wanted against us. So we can only hope that they'll fix all that by the time they get to the Titans game this Sunday. I'm looking forward to coming to T-Squared on Sunday, and I hope all you Asmaniacs out there can make it as well. It'll be lots of fun for all. And boy, Nate, be careful on that bike. I thought he was going to get run over by the bus.
That was We the People on the bike. Even worse.
Okay. All right, because there were several of them together, which included Nate, so I thought he was the one that got on the bike. Yeah, so not bad, though. They were about a half mile away from T-Squared over at the Garden. So that was a pretty good speed to get out there. It was great. I'm glad that Lane Train got to go first because he kept sending me in the private chat, can I go next? Can I go next? So it's been good. We wish that the results would have been better. And let's hope that Sunday will be a totally different story. And let you get back to all your other calls. Good night, all. Take care. And you
Bill,
too. Jake.
Thank you, Bill. Good to see you tonight, man. Thanks for coming out. Ladies and gentlemen, we go back to Tyrone, who is still chomping at the bit to come on the show.
I love
that. Now you see what I did there, Tyrone? Finish eating, and I'll go to you. All right? We have manners on this show, damn it. V8 the Great is next. What's up, V8?
What's up, Jake? Man, the only lame part about this, man, we got to hear the same old Jets theory when it's just
Yep.
we played a good game. The offense came. It's just we didn't play a great game. It's just the defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. But
there were positives in a loss to a really good team. This is not doom and gloom because they lost to the defending NFC champs. Is how I look at it.
Yeah, and I played into it, Jake. I went on Twitter and I see Nick Wright's freaking toupee-headed man. Let me not cuss, but he's over here saying Rodgers doesn't look like the same old Rodgers, and it's just like I can't wait till next week to comment because he didn't have enough to say about Caleb or his Prince and Trevor Lawrence. But I think Rodgers played good. And my only thing is, I just really wish that we got to spread the ball out more. But like you said, we only had the ball for maybe less than 20 minutes. Like if we had just been able to just maintain a drive and the defense just get maybe 1 or 2 stops, maybe we win by a field goal or something. It's just it's gonna take time. It's only week 1. I'm not tripping. It's just. Everybody on here on this Jake Asman show, relax. It's week 1. It's week 1.
V8, appreciate you, man. Good call. Totally fair. The Jets. Hold on, I'm having issues. There we go. Wait. All right. Wasn't letting me X out of calls here. I was going to say, V8, you're about to be a co-host until I figure out how to get the show back in order here. Wow, how about this? Veterans Fitness doing another 100 or another $100 super chat for another 20 channel memberships. Veterans Fitness. My man. Now, I will say this, veterans, the best way to do this is to actually gift it yourself because then YouTube doesn't take as much of a cut. But I appreciate the support, man. This is awesome. I will do it for you. We will gift right now another 20 channel memberships courtesy of Veterans Fitness. Incredible. Here we go. Another 20 coming through. All right. It should have just went through. Ladies and gentlemen, it is raining channel memberships again. It's all you talking about putting the umbrella, opening it indoors. I got news for you. Family business. It's been done since 98. And it ain't stopping. Here we go. Memberships galore. A 20 spot. Courtesy of our pal, Veterans Fitness. Let's go. Benny, Denzel S., Rock Benz, Giovanni Alicia, Jet King, Sean, David Gridiron, Fab 5, Keith Jackson, Kilo 12, Eric, Adonis Haslam, Recipes with Reed, Stern Riffs, Antonis Helen, Eric C., Louis Rivas, Thomas Roseman, Mike Mastando, Brandon Sanzone, Mark Goldstein, Kickin' Pickles, Jet King, I might have said his name already. You were all channel members. Let's go. Oh, love it. Thank you to Veterans Fitness for the support. Incredible. You guys are awesome. Hit the like button if you're tuning in. There's still 900 watching live, only 535 likes. Once again, thank you to Custom Bourbon Tours. Thank you to Joe DeVizio and his team at sellwithjoe.com. Joe DeVizio Realty, baby. Check him out. We got 2 Jet family-owned businesses sponsoring the postgame this year, which I'm pumped about. Because as the son of a small business owner, that is important to me. Ladies and gentlemen, bonus content will be available this week on my Patreon, patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. I want to shout out our recent Patreon members, because without you, this show wouldn't be possible. Scott Grossman, Victory Monday, Tim Barkley, Spank Vizio, Peter Maleri. Thank you guys all for signing up. When you sign up for the Patreon, you get 15% off every item in the merch store. You get access to our private Discord. If you're going to Tennessee, you're going to want to join the Discord. We got a bunch of Asmaniacs making the trip. If you're going to London, I have a full itinerary of Jet fan-related events for those of you going across the pond. So join my Patreon and get in the Discord. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. And maybe most importantly, best part about Patreon, just a great way to connect with your fellow Asmaniacs. All right, we're going to wrap up the show shortly here, but we do have time for a caller who has tried to call in not once, not twice, but will the third time be the charm? Tyrone is next. Hello, Tyrone.
Jake, my man. Yo, what it do? You know, I'm down here in Alabama, man. You know, I had to eat some, man. I was so nervous. It was the opening season game, you know, for the Jets, man. I've been waiting all year for this. But, you know, I was really want to try to evaluate our offseason acquisitions to this team. You know, I know Aaron Rodgers is really an acquisition that we didn't see play last year. And just trying to evaluate them. I know the 49ers are a top-notch team. You know, it was hopeful thinking that we would beat them. But, you know, I actually think that it came down to the coaching because they run the same defensive scheme as we do, I think. You know, but they're notoriously known for running the same offensive scheme we ran last year, which is the zone blocking scheme. But they changed up and they was able to be effective.
He's gone. Tyrone, between the eating and the internet, it's been tough to get through your calls. But you're making some good points. Should we try for a fourth time? Tyrone, finish your point quickly before the internets knock you off again.
I don't really know where we stopped at, but I was just saying, I mean, they was more effective at running the ball the way we were supposed to run the ball, and I thought that, our coaching adjustments was not effective, and
it didn't work. Whatever they tried to do in the second half, it didn't work because the Niners went right down the field on that 11-play opening drive of the third quarter. That to me was the game right there. That was demoralizing.
Okay, so who shoulders that fall on? Do it fall on Quincy Williams, C.J. Mosley?
I think it's the whole defense. I think it's the coach. Yeah, I think it's Salah. I think it's Ulbrich. Everyone.
Yeah. I think they on the hot seat. I know I was trying to make that statement in the show you did probably like maybe 3-4 weeks ago, that these guys need to learn how to make in-game adjustments. I hope my internet is still working right, but these guys need to learn how to make in-game adjustments. You can't just walk in no game expecting to be a Jets fan and think, okay, we're going to go 17-0 this year. You got to actually play the game. You got to put in the work, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's up to the coaching staff to put in that work. I don't care if we got a Hall of Fame quarterback that could call his own plays. I really didn't like the play that Aaron Rodgers called on that 2-point conversion because he changed that play. Because I think he probably should have threw that ball maybe to Garrett Wilson or something like that. But Garrett needs some help. He needs some, you know what I'm saying? I know Mike Williams is ramping up or whatever, but, the coaching staff needs to at least find a way to get him involved in the game.
Well, they need more possessions, Tyrone.
Off to him in the backfield like a running back.
That's not his game. They need more. They need more possessions in general. They do need to get Mike Williams more involved. I would hope he has a much bigger role beginning next week. I would hope so.
And what about Malachi Corley? We thought he was supposed to be like Debo. I mean,
it's one game. I mean, he was a third-round pick.
We hand the ball off to Breece Hall pretty much the whole entire game until Tyrod came in there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's throw a sweep to Malachi or something like that. It's still not a creative enough offense to fool NFL defenses. I mean, we not fooling any NFL defenses with just this structured offense the way we running it. It's like, okay, we gonna hand the ball off to Breece, or we gonna throw it to him.
Tyrone, on the 2 touchdown drives, they look pretty good. Like, I just think they didn't have a lot of possessions today. It's one game. They're playing a really good defense. Like, Aaron Rodgers hasn't played football in a year and a half. Like, I don't think we could evaluate what this offense is, the strengths, the weaknesses, what they need to do until we have a little bit more of a sample size when they're not playing the team that was in the Super Bowl last year and probably should have won.
I totally agree with you, Jake. But you know what? When they look at stats, they look at last 5 games played. And if I'm looking at the last 5 games that just played, there's been little to none creativity. So,
they had Zach Wilson. Tyrone, thank you. They had Zach Wilson at quarterback, Tim Boyle, and Trevor Siemian over some of these games you're talking about. There is no creativity. You sucked. We can't look at the last 5 games from last year. It's a completely different team. Was Tyron Smith and Morgan Moses a tackle the last 5 games for the Jets last year? And by the way, you look at what the Jets did the last 5 games. We focus on the last game they played in the regular season. Breece Hall still running in the snow against Belichick's defense. I wish we got that Breece Hall tonight. I mean, we can't rush to judgments on what this team is, good or bad, on anything tonight. The only thing that truly matters coming out of tonight is that Aaron Rodgers looked good and he's healthy. That's all I care about. Because a year ago, they won week 1. What happened after that? The season was over. We didn't want to admit it, but we knew. I knew. I said it. Go get a quarterback, Douglas. Go get a quarterback. Call up Carson Wentz. Call up. I went back before the game today, and I rewatched that show. Because I was like, where was I at this time a year ago? I'll take this 1,000 out of 1,000 times. They lost to a great team tonight. They lose to the Titans. All hell to pay when we talk about this team after that. Before we continue with the show here, I'll stay on for a little while longer because we still got some people who want in. We have someone I want to send to the hole for maybe like a full week. This is the worst kind of Jet fan. This guy named Brandon. He says, Jet fans, please save your expectations for next year. Jets are not winning anything meaningful. He follows that dumbassery up with this. Joe Douglas, number one offseason mistake was keeping Saleh and Hackett. Wasn't his decision, moron. Brandon says, Joe Douglas put the franchise in a bad place. Will McDonald's a bust. Joe Douglas has put this team in position to actually be the betting favorites to win the AFC East. You are the worst kind of Jet fan, and I beg of you, I will actually pay you to not watch my show anymore because you bring down the entire morale for everyone. Brandon, goodbye. See you never, ya bum.
Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it.
Just stupid, man. They played one game. They didn't look good. But it's one game. How were the Bills feeling last year when they lost to Zach Wilson in their first game? Oh, they won the division? That's right. It's almost like a football season is longer than one game when there's now 17 of them. Ulysses Gonzalez with a super chat. Jets will be okay. They're a little out of shape. Rodgers look good, and that's what's most important right now. Everything else is the coaches will fix. Sit back, watch the upcoming winning streak. This team should be 4-1 going into that Bills game. 4-1. That's my expectation for them. Nothing I saw tonight changes that. They lost to a better team in their building. Let's see how the year plays out. How will the Jets get better? You think this is the Jets' final product? This is it? I don't think so. And to that, the guy Brandon, Joe Douglas put this franchise in a bad place. Really? Go look at the talent they have compared to other teams in the league. Stupid. More calls here before we wrap. Sea-Dog is on the line. Hello, Sea-Dog.
Yo, what's going on, Jay? Love from Australia. Just wanted to call in, brother, and just let you know that there's a lot of hate out there at the moment. But, mate, the Jets, we're in a good space at the moment. As you've been saying, Aaron Rodgers looked good. So, yeah, I just wanted to send my love out to you guys.
What time is it in Australia, Sea-Dog?
20 to 4 p.m. in the afternoon.
20 to 4. So what is that in? We got to subtract 12. Yeah, 3:40. Okay.
Yeah, sorry for the maths there, brother. But, yeah, I like where we're at the moment, brother. And, you know, Aaron Rodgers looked good. Brees, you know, not so great. But I don't think it was all him. I think the D-line for the 49ers was really good today. And, yeah, that's all I got to say, brother. So let's just keep our chins up. And we've got a long season ahead of us.
Sea-Dog, I appreciate it, man. It's nice to know that the Asmaniac community continues to grow in Australia. Love that. I mean, it's frustrating. It's one game. We're all going to overreact. I don't have it in me to do the fake outrage. I don't. They lose to the Titans. You'll see anger, the likes of which you haven't seen in a while on the show. But Aaron Rodgers is healthy. A year ago, the season was over, and they won. I'll take this every time. Do they have to get better? Yeah. Do I have some concerns about this defensive line stopping the run? For sure. But not every team is the Niners. You know how good of a coach Shanahan is at scheming guys up? The different, run blocking mechanisms they have. I mean, I have to watch the film. We got Fialco on tomorrow for the All-22. That will help a lot. All right? I'm going to just relax. Steven NYC is up next. Steven, where were you tonight?
I'm sorry I missed you, but I wanted to say hi before the night. How was it, other than
the result, obviously, notwithstanding, but it was a great night.
Game, wasn't it?
It just felt like the Jets never had the ball. It was brutal.
It was like, so, yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I think I caught this late also.
I'm not angry. I'm like surprised, right? Like it was a weird game, right? Like how many times have you ever seen an NFL game where only one running back ever was in the backfield until garbage time? Like something was like weird, right? They only had 2 targets other than Bree, so it was Brees, Garrett, and Lazard until Conklin got a target with Taylor. Like I don't understand. Wasn't it like so like it was hard to follow? Like I didn't get it. Yes. Who would have thought that we were only going to have with Brees? We were never going to run and they didn't have McCaffrey, and they had such a great running attack. It was so surprising, right?
Yeah, I mean, they didn't have enough offensive possessions. That was the problem. They just never, like, and Salah talked about this after the game. I saw the quote online. They never allowed Aaron to get into a rhythm because they never had any long sustain. The Jets are normally the team with Rodgers that has those long 11-play drives, and the Niners basically did what the Jets wanted to do tonight to them.
And when you think about it, so I was watching one of my favorite things, and I guess you go on, but loving to watch SNY right when they come the after the post game.
Yep.
You know, Bart Scott brought up a really good analogy on like how we always say like not getting in the flow. So third play of the game, he drops it, right? So you're 3 out. Then first of all, that punch by Warner, I've never seen as good a punch, right? So basically what he said is you have these scripted plays, and I learned something from him today, Bart Scott, when he said the scripted plays, it's not only like what you scripted, but sometimes you want to script those so you see what their lineup, like what they're doing in response to your scripted plays. And he's like, when you go 3 it out and then 3 it out, and then they have that long play, like Shanahan just won on that because he saw our tendencies and we never were able to. And when you're playing a great team, those things can't happen. And that's my point. Like, I don't think we're bad. I just think it was like circumstantial. It was just weird and strange. And you're right. We had no plays. We had no time of possession. And how do you feel? Like, I heard.
Yeah, I mean, how do I feel?
Say that's a different story. This just is like, all right.
Yeah, it was a tough one, Steve. I mean, the Niners used one running back too, by the way. I mean, Debo doesn't count. They gave him the ball 8 times out of the backfield. They just the stat besides the final score that matters the most. The Niners had the ball for 38 minutes and 40 seconds. The Jets had the ball for 21 minutes and 20 seconds. And some of that was garbage time with the Tyrod drive at the end. I mean, they didn't stop the run all night. I think if they gave Aaron more possessions, they were going to score. I thought Rodgers looked really good. The first drive got killed because Lazard dropped an easy first down. Brees had the fumble and a great play by Warner, killed another drive. The interception was kind of unlucky, right? I'm not going to kill Aaron Rodgers for that. Believe me, I'm grateful he's here after what I have watched the quarterback, what we all have watched the quarterback in our lifetime. Like, it was a tough game against a great team. I expected the Jets to play better, but I'm also not going to sit here and write them off because they lost week 1. I mean, the Chiefs lost week 1 last year. They won the Super Bowl. The Bills lost week 1 to the Jets and Zach Wilson last year. They won the division. Pretty sure the year the Bengals went to the Super Bowl, didn't they start 0-3? Like, you know, are we doing doom and gloom in Cincinnati right now? You know who the Cincinnati Bengals play next week? They play the Chiefs. Are Bengals fans saying their season's over too? I don't know. I mean, Aaron Rodgers looked better than Joe Burrow did, that's for sure. DJ Wheels with a super chat. $4.99. DJ, nice to meet you in person tonight, man. Thank you for coming out. Hennessy says, we lost to the 49ers, not the Panthers. Relax. Amen, Henny. Although I will say I was hopefully looking forward to funneling Hennessy with you tonight. All right, can we make these last couple calls quick? Because we're approaching 2 hours here. I got Beningo on at 10 a.m. Let's rapid fire if we can. We say hello right now to Hudson Valley, who joins us now. What's up, Hudson Valley?
Yo, what's up, Jake? How you doing, man?
What's up, dude?
Whew, man, oh my God. I don't call in a lot, but man, when I do, first thing I want to say is you're the best at what you do, man. And man, so right now I live in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach area. The last time I called in, I actually talked to you about getting. Oh shit, I'm sorry. Let me. The jerseys you sent me the link to.
Mm-hmm.
They fit awesome, man. I got my wife, Garrett Wilson. I got myself a Brees Hall away jersey. We wore them tonight. I FaceTime with my family up in New York. And, man, just the anticipation for this game. I got to say, I'm happy that Aaron Rodgers completed more than 5 plays, and it went fine, whatever. I'm not concerned about Aaron Rodgers. The dude is going to do what he does best. He is a 4-time MVP for a reason, and he is going to be – I'm not hitting the panic button right now. I mean, we played against the best team probably we're ever going to face, like you just said. I'm not worried about it. It's just I was very just let down by, the defense. Obviously, I know the Hassan Reddick thing is a big deal, but it's like, the thing with Hassan Reddick is that you thought that, like, okay, so, this Robert Saleh is going to have these homegrown dudes, and they're going to come up, and, man, they just were absent tonight, man. It's just I don't know. I'm disappointed. I'm not worried about it at the same time. It's just
One game, man. It's one game. They play poorly against the Titans and the Patriots and the Broncos and the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
Then they got problems. You lose to the Niners. The people act as if the Jets were going to go 17-0, apparently. I guess apparently that was the expectation. They're going to go 17-0. Because every time they lose, it's like, oh, the season's ending. It's not. J.E. says, we are not them, Jake. Stop comparing us. 14 straight years without the playoffs. J.E., I am actually convinced you're not a Jets fan because all you do is shit on the Jets. Your comments are very, very dumb. For instance, we only have 2 weapons on offense, Wilson and Brees. Oh, I don't know. Last I checked, Allen Lazard scored 2 touchdowns tonight and actually looked competent. Finished with 89 yards. Last I checked, the Jets do have a capable tight end who's been top 10 in yards and receiving in Tyler Conklin. Last I checked, Mike Williams is pretty good. And as he gets more playing time, we'll show that. Like, your comments make you sound like you're an idiot. Then you're going to act like you're keeping it real. No, you're not. No, you're not. Last year, the Lions won week 1 against the Chiefs. You know what happened in week 2? They lost. Was their season over? Because last time I checked, the Jets have a chance to be 1-1 if they win on Sunday. J.E., goodbye. You're a moron. You're a buffoon, and I can't stand your face.
Just shut the fuck up. I did not ask for the dumb opinion that came out of your ass, so shut the fuck up.
There's too many morons out there, man. All right, couple more. Ladies and gentlemen, we say hello to a guy who called in earlier, but it was we the people who took his phone and gave us a bike ride around Midtown we'll never forget. We say hello to Nate, parentheses Nate. Hello, Nate.
Evening, Jake. I assume, thanks for prefacing that. I was, Weed gets credit for my phone call earlier, so thanks for taking a second call for me now that I'm home. Awesome time, even though we didn't get the result we wanted. Thank you to you, everyone. It really worked out again. It seemed like there was going to be a lot of people for a small space, but it was awesome. And just
the space itself was actually big. The problem was they had a bunch of private events that all ended at 8. So once that ended, then everything opened up for us, basically.
It was the opposite of Saturday when we were there for the preseason game. They had a lot going on. Yes, Gary, this is a Sanchez jersey, in the chat. Yeah, it was just, seeing the whole community brought together. I think I was when Lazard scored that touchdown, I think I was jumping with, Genergy, Bethpage, Chris, Bonesy, Snowball, Mark, Clancy, everyone's just kind of right there celebrating. It was like a whole culmination of, I've probably watched 500 of your shows in between the 500 days that we've had to wait to see that happen. And compared to where we were last year when I remember taking the train home, talking to Bills fans that were telling us, you might have won the battle, but we won the war. And every Jets fan knew it. And this year is the opposite. We've won the battle, or we've lost the battle week 1, but we did not lose the war whatsoever. We have a very long season upcoming. We have
16 games left. Yeah.
Yeah, we have the entire season upcoming. Compared to last year, I am almost happy. Like I was coming. The offense didn't look bad. The defense didn't look bad. There were parts that looked not great, but the defensive line is definitely a question. I was telling Beth Page Chris there, like, do we have a weakness in terms of the run game? And I think I brought this up to you, Jake, and a lot of other shows this offseason. The one thing that really concerned me, we lost a lot of interior defensive linemen. We lost JFM, we lost Al Woods, we lost guys that performed last year. And like, if you're a coach going against this team, why would you throw it at Sauce Gardner? Why would you throw it at DJ Weed? Why would you throw it at the top 3 trio of cornerbacks in the league? Just attack the middle of attack the running game, attack the middle of the field, attack the tight ends, attack the short passing game. And it's like that's what I was scared that people would kind of play the possession game against us. And that is the one weakness of our defense is running the ball against us. And it really just it was a giant red flag tonight seeing it. Granted, it was against a dominant run team and a team that's that's been in the Super Bowl for multiple years. But like if you're Tennessee next week, why would in your first 15 plays you have Will Levis testing out his arm? You see if the Jets can stop the run again. You keep it out of Rodgers' hands, keep him on the sideline.
Well, here's the difference though, right?
Sauce.
You would think the Jets will tackle better next week. Like some of the issues tonight were missed tackles, not being in the right position. Like I would expect that with the rust being shaken off after this defense didn't play in the preseason for them to be a lot better in that department.
Well, I guess tackling is a piece of it, Jake, but also like when I saw Brees Hall running the ball and trying to find a gap or anywhere to go versus their running back who none of us knew his name going into tonight, they were very different gaps, very different holes. Like some caller mentioned it earlier when we were on the bike with Weed, like they were penetrating through our line. We got absolutely no penetration. We did not see a Jet in the backfield. Hassan Reddick was smiling ear to ear watching that performance. We couldn't stop the run. Not that he's a great run stopper, but we never got to the quarterback. Where was Jermaine? Where was Will McDonald? It was hard to keep up play by play being in that environment, but I just one of those where you didn't hear their names. You never saw pressure. Brock Purdy never got hit. The one time he got hit, I think Solomon Thomas had a pressure and a QB hit that Purdy was able to step out of and then and deliver a pass for a first down. So that was tough, but also like the Jets kind of did the Jets thing this week. Like they had the Brees Hall fumble. That's probably not going to happen every week. They had a Rodgers tipped interception. That's probably not going to happen every week. The defense got absolutely zero clutch stops coming out of the half. Hopefully trying to ride off the momentum of the offensive touchdown and just the defense shat the bed. So that all of that's not going to happen every week. And it's still like most callers have said, it didn't really look that bad with a fumble, with an interception, with things that we're not like it wasn't a bad Zach Wilson interception. It was a tip ball interception, and we saw things from our offense that we never like celebrating that Lazard touchdown when he drew them off sides. And
oh my god, the place was like that. That's why I really hope they could have found a way to win tonight because you were there, Nate. I mean, talk about the atmosphere, dude. That was sick. I mean, we were going nuts when Rodgers was changing plays at the line of scrimmage. We were hyped in the building. It was nuts.
Not only was it was 2 years of pent up frustration and angst, but it was the first half. We were all waiting and then they took lead, and then we just felt like, all right, we could do this. And then they went for the 2-point conversion, and then obviously, like I just alluded to, the defense just kind of shot the bed. Can I make a PSA? Because I know you won't do it, Jake, because you're way too polite. To all the Asmaniacs that are going to come to future events, if you need Tic Tacs, deodorant, shower, be respectful of people's personal space.
Oh God,
I'll leave it at that.
Who smelled the worst tonight, Nate? Who stunk?
Dude, I kept having to move. I kept moving my chair. I don't want to bring up specific names, but that's all. That's just Tic Tacs, couple bucks. Just be respectful if you're not used to going out in public a lot.
He stinks. Name who, Nate? Who smells?
Zach stinks.
Zach Wilson was not. He was not at our watch party tonight.
And I'll tell you this: we probably were. I mean, hopefully we win next week. But I think the players will obviously want to get it done. Go. But Robert Saleh needs the Jets to win next week. Robert Saleh cannot go into the home opener 0-2 this season. It would be an ugly, ugly greeting for him. And
Well-
obviously it would take away a lot of our excitement as Jets fans if we were 0-2 going into that Patriots game.
Yes, I don't want to picture that. It would make the home opener a must win. They're all big, but honestly, people don't want to hear this because I'm supposed to be angry. Winning week 2 in the long run might be better than winning week 1. I'll worry about the Niners if they play them in the Super Bowl. I'll deal with them then. The reality
100%.
is you lost to a non-conference team in week 1. You got to win your AFC games. You got to win your division games. Week 2 and week 3 are way more important than week 1.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're 100% right. If you got to, would you rather win week 1 or week 17 against the Dolphins if you had to pick one going into the playoffs, against an AFC divisional round? Like if it comes down to us playing better later in the regular season, and I'm sure I think John Harbaugh, the whatever Harbaugh, the Chargers coach said this yesterday, teams get better and learn the most about themselves in week 1 to week 2. So we have a lot of work to do, and we have 4 perfect opponents laid out for this. Like we got San Francisco out of the way. Let's keep it moving. Everyone could get their Jets jokes in this week. Last place, same old Jets, whatever. People that don't pay attention day to day, or you want to fire the offensive coordinator every Monday. But I'm still confident moving forward with this team. The running game is something to both sides, both starting the running game on our side and stopping the run game is something you need in the playoffs. We're all Rex Ryan fans. We were so good because we were able to run the ball and stop the run. And when it comes to January football, we're going to need to run the ball and stop the run. So that was concerning, but it's good to see Rodgers finish a game, and I'm happier 0-1 this year than I was 1-0 last year.
That's exactly the right take. Nate, great job, man. I'll see you on Sunday.
See you Sunday. Thanks. That was a stellar job, Jake. So much fun.
Nate, Nate checking in. He's right, by the way. All right. He's right. Good take there by Nate. Thanks to Nate and everyone once again. I've been saying it throughout who came out to T-Squared tonight. We're running it back on Sunday. T-Squared Social, Midtown Manhattan, right next to Grand Central. RSVP if you're coming. Link is in the description. When they scored that touchdown with Lazard, oh my God, did we go nuts. Rodgers getting them on the hard count. That was sick. Lane wants to know, do you like pizza? Lane, not only do I like pizza, I love pizza. All right. I would make sweet and passionate love to an authentic New York slice of pizza. Boy Green style. Jack Gallo checks in. He says, I would straight up trade Garrett Wilson for Devontae if we don't have to give up any draft capital. Jets are in win now mode. Jack, congratulations in a show that has featured plenty of dumb commentary. This one right here might be above them all.
Into the shadow realm you go.
That's the problem with Aaron Rodgers. This guy is a cancer that's metastasized throughout the entire building in Florham Park. And I don't know why Jets fans can't see it.
Or, here's another idea that's going to be very controversial. You could shut the fuck up.
Probably should listen to Dave Chappelle there, Jack Gallo. All right, Veterans Fitness is called back in. Veterans, you dropped, 40 spots of memberships tonight, man. Thank you.
Hey, Jake, I love your show. I can wish I can do more. I appreciate what you do.
You've done plenty, man.
But
Thank you for your support.
I don't have the what's it called? The option of actually throwing the memberships out there.
No, you're fine, man. Don't worry about it. Are you on your phone? Is that why? Try from the desktop if you want to gift directly next time.
Oh, okay. That's what I have to do then. But yeah, no, I love your show, bro. I mean, being a Jets fan for 30 plus years now, any Jets fans can join in anytime. And I love your show, by the way. I've been watching you for like a year and a half, and I just love it.
Thank you, Veterans. I appreciate it, man.
I really do. I fucking love it.
Thank you, dude. I appreciate the kind words. Thanks for your support. All right, I got time for one more call here. Once again, if you're just tuning in late, the day after every Jet game, we're joined by the biggest Jet fan on the planet. Joe Beningo joins us tomorrow at 10 a.m. I guess it's not even tomorrow. It's later today. It is in 8 hours from right now. Joe B. We'll have Fialco on in the afternoon for a film review. Pablo wants to know the link for the jerseys. If you want discounted Jets jerseys, I do not give them out publicly. You got to join my Patreon and message me there, and I got you. Steven with a super chat. He says, sorry I missed tonight. Let's hope this was a one-off and not a precursor to issues we don't want to discuss. Hope to see you Sunday. Let's go Jets. Look, if they lose to the Titans, it's fair game to talk about coaching and all the concerns that some of you have tried to bring up tonight. But I'm not going to do doom and gloom after they lost to the Niners. You think are Ravens fans doing doom and gloom when they lost to the Chiefs? I'm just wondering. Is the season over in Baltimore, or it's just over for the Jets? Just wondering. Rob, the Jet fan, will close this out tonight. Rob, I'm glad you made it back safely from T-Squared. Thanks again for coming out.
Hey, Jake. I don't know. I mean, I'm a little depressed. I'm not going to lie.
Depressed?
Yeah. I mean, I wanted them to have a little bit better showing, like it'd be at least a closer game. But I will say this, Jake. When we scored that first touchdown, the electricity that went through my body was like no other feeling in the world. I mean, I felt so fucking good. I was like, holy shit, this is going to be great. And everyone was just screaming and yelling. The electricity. Nuts. What?
It was nuts. It was incredible.
God. I loved it, Jake. I loved it. I just wish we played a little bit more competitively in the sense of the defensive line. It was really horrible today. I mean, they just, they had some undrafted guy, Mason, and he was just running right through us. And I don't know what the heck happened with that. I heard you say before about, Al Woods and stuff. But, I mean, a player like him is what we're really missing. Mm-hmm. Missing a guy who could just clog up the run, who's just a pure run stuffer. And I think it really showed today. It really hurt a lot. As far as pass rush, I don't know what the heck went on today. There was like zero pass rush today. That was a little demoralizing too.
I mean, do they have any quarterback hits on Purdy tonight? Like, I mean, Tony Adams had one.
I don't.
Michael
think so.
Clemens had one. Quinnen had one. Sauce had one, according to the box score. But none of them were like notable. I don't remember going, oh, great pass rush there. They're like Kinlaw, I thought had a good rush at some point in the first half of this game, if I remember correctly. But no, it's over the last 2 years. It has been very tough to criticize the Jet defense. Tonight is not one of those nights. They did not play well tonight.
No, and I don't know what you saw. What I saw was that Tony Adams, I mean, he had a couple of good plays here and there. Don't get me wrong. But I thought Kittle was kind of eating him for breakfast a little bit when they went beyond the quarterbacks, and the safety had to obviously cover, and he was kind of eating them up a little bit. I mean, I thought Tony Adams was not in the proper positioning at times. So, I mean, I agree with you. A lot of parts of the defense did not look good today, which that seriously bugged me. As far as Brees, I think Brees will be okay. He did face a really good 49er line. They're really good. Let's stop. People got to stop. This is the second best team last year, losing to Kansas City, okay? And maybe talent-wise, they might be the number one team, like you previously said, Jake. So you know what? There's really no shame in losing to a great 49er team. I wish they played a tiny bit more competitively. I did see some rust. That's why I'm thinking sometimes you have to kind of play at least one preseason game. I mean, they're getting away from preseason games completely. And if they go to 18 games, I think preseason obviously is going to be down to 1-2 games, and that's it. And you're going to see the rust in the beginning. There's no doubt about it. I thought Aaron had a little bit of rust, but at times Aaron looked great. So I'm encouraged about Aaron Rodgers. He's only going to get better, obviously. And he excited the hell out of me, with those passes.
He looked good. Look, I'll take this result and him healthy over winning week 1 last year, and the season was over. So,
that pass from Lazard that he caught right there, I was like, holy cow. I was like, wow. I mean, I was just, yeah, let's go. Let's get back in this game, Just wish we got back into the game. That's the only thing I'm a little bit disappointed in. I know after the fog is settled a little bit, I'll feel better about it and stuff. I'm a little down now, but you're right. Things are going to get better. And I
Rob, 6 days from now, if they win, you're going to be feeling a lot better. That's the
Yeah.
bottom line. All right. They
Well, that's why
they played
they
played the best team in the league tonight, arguably.
No,
in
you're
their
right.
house. And when the schedule came out, this was always going to be a very tough game for them to win.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
felt that.
like it feels bigger because it's week 1. The reality is there are
Yeah.
16 more games, and the next 4, I believe the Jets are going to be a favorite in each of them. So take care of business, and they'll be all right.
I just wish, Jake, that we started our first game against a real crappy team just to get a win under our belts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you know what? This might be better because this kind of raises the bar for where the Jets need to be. How do they handle adversity early? Veteran team, right? A lot of young players, but they've added some veterans. Like, they're equipped to handle the next 4 games. Like, if they don't, we'll have a different conversation. But I'm fully expecting the Jets to play better and win on Sunday against a team they should beat.
Did Taylor play at all?
Tyrod, yes, he came in at the end, and he actually looked pretty good. He led a touchdown drive.
No,
6
I
of
mean,
8.
I mean Leonard, the defensive lineman.
No, he
Leonard.
was inactive. Leonard Taylor inactive.
I think they could have used him today. What do you think?
Yeah, maybe he's active next week, 100%. I don't know what they're going to do to try and fix this run defense, but they got to do something. Now, some of it might just be, hey, you're not playing the Niners, but they weren't good enough tonight, obviously. Understatement of the entire century. Before we get out of here, please hit the like button. Thank you to the 700 of you who are still watching live at, is it really 2:08 in the morning? God. Oh, my God. I have a million texts, too. When people, let me rant quickly here. The people who text you during the Jet game, as if I'm not watching, shut up. I got things to do. I don't need your wow or, wow, what a play. I don't care. I will not answer you. Don't send me a meme. I'm going to sound like Nick Saban here. I'm not looking at it. I'm not responding to it. So quit asking. Quit sending it. I mean, God. Anyway, that's my final rant of the night. Thank you to our 2 post-game sponsors again. Joe DeVizio and his amazing team. sellwithjoe.com. And, of course, custombourbontours.com as well. Liam and the gang, they'll hook you up if you're headed down to Kentucky for a vacation in the near future. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Support the show there for less than a cup of coffee a month. Someone wrote in the chat, I just saw it, I forgot to bookmark it. Great hat, Jake. If you want the same hat I'm wearing, here it is from MPC. JakeAsman.com/shop. We got all the hats that are available. Snapbacks, trucker hats, dad hats, the baseball cap hats, all that and more. So definitely check that out. Once again, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank everyone again who came out tonight. Thank you to T Squared for being an unbelievable venue to host such an event. We're running it back this Sunday. Party starts at noon. Jets, Titans. Let's get our first win of the season and go on a run. 16 more games, Jet fans. We got time. We got time. Veterans Fitness says, love you, 10 more. Oh, my God, Veterans Fitness. Money bags over here. Stand by. I'm going into the Jake Hasman wallet at the buzzer here. Thank you, veterans. I appreciate you. Hold on. Let's give 10 more memberships at the buzzer, and we'll call it a night. Okay. My YouTube is not loading. This is why I ask people to just hopefully get on a laptop and gift it directly because it slows down the show. So I apologize, veterans. I'm going to do this as quickly as I can here. Hold on. 10 channel memberships from Veterans Fitness, a man of the people. Stand by. ladies and gentlemen, there it is. 10 memberships from veterans. Let me get you some names here. Little Soup, Harold Parker, Ulysses Gonzalez, Butterscotch 201, Stephen James, Big Rush, Dan NY, Brendy Cherry, 2 a.m. Burrito. I could use a burrito right now. B. Stokes. You guys are all officially channel members. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. Got to rest the voice. Joe B's coming on at 10. So we'll run it back with Joe tomorrow. Thank you to everyone who tuned in tonight. Once again, thank you to everyone who made it out to T Squared tonight. If you missed the first one, have no fear. We're doing it again on Sunday. Thank you to our great sponsors. One game, Jet fans. All right? I'm going to quote Aaron Rodgers for a moment here. Relax. It's one game. We'll say this. We do have to retire the is Brock Purdy going to be running for his life? The answer, unfortunately, was no. No, he will not be. Anyway, thanks again for everyone's support. My name is Jake Asman. This has been the Jake Asman Show. I will talk to you guys soon. Talk to you guys in just a few hours. Go Jets. Sky's not falling. We'll be okay, folks. Thanks for watching, and have a great evening.
Lane wants to know, are you in college?
I graduated from college.
Did you go to college with Knoble?
No, I did not. I did not go to college with Knoble.
Lane wrote in, can you cut him off? Lane's had enough of you.
Gee, thanks, Lane. I appreciate it.
Losing Lane is like when you lose Cronkite, you know? You lose the country. That's like Lane Kerner here. You lose the Lane train, you lose the country.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I'll just kick off Charles. Anyway, how do you feel about Al-Azhar?
Wait, Lane, hold on. What did Charles say specifically that irked you?
That whole rapping thing, I did not get. Yeah, so how do you feel about Al-Azhar? I don't know when the first preseason game is. Let me get to the paper. A lot of Olympic coverage. Oh, Texas and Bears. I hope the Bears win. Bye-bye. Thank you for taking my call.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Lane train. As electric as ever. Kings stay kings.
I hate this team. I hate them. I hate them!
Look, guys, I don't know how else to say this. Fact of the matter is, the team has almost no chance to win this week unless you click on the like button. Also, be sure you're subscribed to the Jake Asman Show. Let's do this. Go Jets!